Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Koob.
I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up today. You know what, Reid? You might be honest.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nest. Oh my goodness, we are out of the cage, Jason Milne. Live and on location from the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar. I enjoyed a Booster Juice about an hour ago. We are live at the Hockey Helps the Homeless tournament, which has been going on all day. It'll wrap up in a couple of hours. We're going to have some special guests who are either participating and or help organizing the tournament or perhaps even coaching in the tournament. This, of course, is a wonderful event. Former Oiler coach and player Ron Lowe, one of the driving forces behind this. He and his wife Linda are around and very busy and keeping everything going. Former NHLers, former Oilers. Who's out on the ice? We got our own Matt Cassian. We got our own Joaquin Gage. We got Chris Joseph playing. I think he's in the game right behind us. He was on our show yesterday. Ben Scrivens, who was on our show last week, is here. Kelly Buchberger, Charlie Huddy, Ales Hemsky. I'm probably missing a bunch of guys, but an incredible cast. Doug Hicks, who's going to join us probably in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So that's great. So it's
and
off.
My family's here,
and your family is here. Very excited.
Come over and say hi, Grace. Come on, girls. Come on.
Are they coming on the stream?
Come on. Come say
what's
hi.
stopping them?
Yeah, why not?
Look at all the people here.
You only live once. YOLO. Here's the crew. This is the Glue crew at home. There's my girls. They all came to visit Dad. They're on PD day at school. So they all came. You're at Provincials handball. Speaking of the mic, how'd it go?
We won 6-4.
Oh, baby. Big win.
6-4. Good score in oil country.
Good score in oil country is right. Girls, thank you for coming in. I love you. I'll see you later. Big game tonight at 8:20. So we're going to be cheering on the Ardrossan Junior handball team. Thanks for coming on, girls. Love you.
Which one's the flag football player that you're coaching?
Rosie in the red.
Okay. She's the quarterback.
She's the quarterback.
And do you have your first game this weekend?
We have our first game tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., right, Rose?
League game or exhibition?
This is league. There's
none of this NFL 8 preseason game.
No, that's soft.
Pansy stuff.
Yeah, no.
This is right. We get right into game's count.
Yeah.
This is the game's count right off the bat. Well, we really appreciate being here. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk has been here since the Nielsen Show signed on at 6 a.m., so we're happy to be a very smaller part of Hockey Helps the Homeless here at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar, which is quite a grand facility. It's been a few years since I've been here, but I have broadcast from here before for the Family Day hockey event.
Okay,
that was pretty big. But this is it takes a while to orient yourself in here when you get in. Okay, where are we broadcasting? Okay, there's a rink. Yeah. There's a gym. There's where I can get a Booster Juice. There's where I can get a coffee. There's where I can get a sandwich.
Now I can safely say I'm facing south. I do know that.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I never even thought about that. But because 23rd Ave is on the other side of this parking lot.
That's correct.
Right, that we're facing. So, looking south.
But it is massive in here.
This is a massive facility.
Barry the Cheater
works here, one of our nasties. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun seeing him here. It was a great conversation.
Fun last night. The Oilers figured it out against the Los Angeles Kings and beat them in the first round for the 4th consecutive season. You're not supposed to be able to do that. You're not supposed to be able to beat a team 4 years in a row. What's going on? How did it possibly happen? The Oilers must just be incredibly lucky. My goodness.
Don't you? Yeah, Reid, I think, you know what, that was just, that was I guess predestined. But what I mean by that is this series I thought, Reid, was over when it's after Game 4 when they tied it up 2-2. Mm-hmm. The train was moving in the right direction.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the LA Kings Although they gave it their best, I do think, well, maybe not their best, but they were just dog-tired. I mean, you could see that last night. We're going to go over some of the goals that were scored last night. And, my favorite, Adrian Kempe, looked rather lackadaisical on one of them. You asked me to go look at that again, and that was pretty bad. But, I mean, that's what happens, the grind that you have to endure to make it through the playoffs, and why these teams that have depth seem to ultimately come out on top.
And the one thing I'll say, and one of my go-to sayings, and we all have them as broadcasters, and I realize people get tired of them sometimes, but there are certain things that I believe in, is that the good teams, quite frankly, successful people, it's not just successful sports teams, successful people.
Okay, where are we going here?
Just figure it out.
Right.
Of course you have to have training in your field. Of course you have to be a high-level, talented, hardworking hockey player to play in the NHL. But sometimes you're in a difficult situation, and it's just figured. Like everybody has probably had that colleague, or maybe they're that person themselves at the office. Okay, so say it's a widget factory.
You must have taken economics courses.
I did.
Yeah,
I didn't actually. Did you always learn about widgets at the U of A?
Was widgets. Yes.
I was going to try to pick something else weird, but then I thought I didn't want to possibly offend somebody who's in that field.
Widgets.
But it's there's the person at the widget factory. Are they the best widget maker? No, but they're good, but they're not the best. Are they the best salesperson with the widgets? No, but they're pretty good. Are they the best at any particular thing? Maybe no, but when there's a crisis, everybody looks to that person because they're going to have an idea and they're going to be level-headed. You know what I mean? Everybody has that person in the office where it's like they're the problem solver. They're the deep breath. They're the calming influence. Maybe they're not the boss. Maybe they wouldn't even be considered one of the leaders. Maybe they wouldn't even be considered the best employee, but everybody has that calming influence in the office. Oh my God, the person that says, okay, this is happening. You need to do A, you need to do B, and I'm going to do C, and then we're going to meet back here in 15 minutes. Everybody do their part and we'll be fine. Yeah. And I do think that good sports teams have that element. And Tom, after the show, Tom Gazola's got this post game he does up downtown in this bar, eh? So I was on the GCL Diesel post game show with Tom Gazola from the Canadian Ice House in Ice District Plaza, and he said that Kempe had some clip saying, well, we played better than the most of the series, or we played how we wanted to play. And I said to Tom, that may be a fair point if you wanted to look at it from a Kings perspective. But sometimes there's a difference between outplaying a team and winning. And the Oilers were better in situations that allowed them to win the games. Late game situations, overtime, key penalty kills, coaching decisions, whether it was player usage or coaches' challenges, right? LA played well. I'm saying the same thing I said before the series. The LA Kings are a very, very good team. And they could have won the series. And there's probably teams in the playoffs or out of the playoffs now that LA is capable of beating. No doubt about that. But look at some of these situations that were tense that the Oilers just figured it out. We're down in game 3 by a goal. We score a mucky goal with Evander Kane on the ice. And then you put the pressure on their coach to make a challenge he shouldn't have made. Then you're down 3-1 with 30 seconds left, and you stay relentless, and you get your star offensive defenseman to tie it. And then even last night's game was not pretty. I think if last night's game were a regular season game, it would be one of those games when we're hearing from listeners, well, you can't play that way in the playoffs. Right. That's great. They won 6-4. You can't play that way in the playoffs. Fair enough. They were not as polished or as tight, and by tight I don't mean nervous. I mean checking and on top of the Kings and taking care of the important areas of the ice. They weren't as good. They were too loose. They were too loose defensively. Connor McDavid made a bad swoop pinch on Byfield's first goal.
Terrible.
There's a couple times they were watching the LA Kings take wrist shots instead of pressuring them. But they still figured it out. They still got the goals they needed. They still responded to big plays by the Los Angeles Kings. And I think that is so important, that ability to take a blow, to absorb a shot from the other team, and then say, okay, we're staggered. We're staggered a little bit, Jay. But you know what? We're not down. We've been here before. We've been down on one knee. Or, we know that the other team has a good right hook. We know we're going to show them our left uppercut because we're pretty good at that too. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's really important. And we've seen this from the Oilers before in the past couple of years, that they became a more veteran team. And I think that is a big reason why they won this game. And it was, and I know we're going to dive into this more later, it was up and down the lineup, because they did not win last night's game. And I don't even think they won Game 5 on the backs of Leon and Connor.
No.
By any means. That's really important.
That is the story, I believe, Reid, is that a team that, was criticized for going to Connor and Leon early on the top line and saying here, I remember saying after, I think, Game 2, it seemed like the Oilers were just giving Connor the puck and saying, hey, you go do something spectacular. Right. Go make a highlight reel and get us a goal too, please, if you wouldn't mind. It went from that to a team that, yes, had Connor and Leon up top, but then had, the Nuge, Hyman, Janmark, Arvidsson. You go down the list. I mean, Henrique seemed to be improving as the series went on. When you have the depth like that, that's it. That's the luxury. That's how you're going to get by that and make games like that look almost easy, like not easy, but it I don't know. It just seemed like there wasn't ever a stressful part of that game. Even when Byfield came out, boom. I mean, what was it? 5 goals in the first 5 minutes and 55 seconds, right? Were you, I'm curious to know, Nasties, were you nervous at that point when it was bang, 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 and then Hyman gets that beautiful tip home to make it 3-2 coming out of the first?
Yeah.
Were you nervous at that point? I think when you have that much inclusion in the team and everybody's turning and going at the same time, that calms a lot of nerves for Oilers fans.
Yeah, plenty of discussion about the breaking down the Oilers win over the Kings and what's next, which is the Vegas Golden Knights, so a rematch of the second round series from a couple of years ago. Yeah, if you're just joining us and you're like, where are these guys? We're at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar for Hockey Helps the Homeless. Doug Hicks is going to join us. Ron Lowe is going to hop on a little bit later. We will go to Winnipeg for a chat with Jamie Thomas from the Ground Control podcast, because the Jets have a big game tonight, and Jamie watches the Oilers very closely as well. We're always happy to hear from you. 780-218-9999 is how you text the afternoon inbox, presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. We do have some limericks from over the sea that we're going to get to as we move along throughout the afternoon. And, of course, if you are watching on YouTube, you can enter the nasty chat there, chat with us and with each other. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I think there are a lot of reasons to be walking around with your thumb up today and to give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Your favorite hockey team survived a first-round series in pretty impressive fashion, I could think. It's plus 26 degrees outside, or so I'm told. We're on location at a great event. Hockey Helps the Homeless. And hopefully you're just feeling good about something in your life.
Well, yeah. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Man, the weather.
I think 28 tomorrow. I think a little cooler Sunday, but still pretty nice. So it feels like we're entering.
How many times in the month of May, what is it, May 2nd today? Reid and I went outside to warm up. Think of that. We are in the arena, so it's we're a little one of the cooler spots in the arena. You had to go outside to warm up. Hey, there's Ales Hemsky.
Yeah, Ales Hemsky is walking around. So give us the thumbs up on YouTube.
Hey, Doug Hicks, he's coming on next.
I see some Wiseacre is using the handle Reid's Detached Retina. in the nasty chat. Ales Hemsky is wondering if we have a charger for an iPhone. Is that what you need? Oh, I don't know if we have one or not. Jay's gonna check. Oh wait, you might have one. You might have one. Okay, he got one. Yeah, that's the fun part of it, though, is that we're live. Yeah, that's all good. That's all good. No, don't worry about it, Alice. All right,
We won't keep you long, Alice. But it was the charger that brought it up.
oh, is he coming on now?
Yeah, sure. Just
Oh
bring
yeah,
him in.
bring him on, then we'll get Doug after.
Here, Alice, sit here.
Ales Hemsky is here. How you doing, buddy? It's nice
Here,
to
we'll
see you.
slide you into the right there. There you go.
All right, is he turned up?
There you go.
There you go. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. It's nice to see you. We won't keep you long. I want to ask you. You were in Rogers Place last night.
Yes.
What's it like when you get put on the big screen and you get that ovation?
I mean, it's fantastic, and especially even for me, like I would not lie, it brings a good goosebumps, and like it. I never won the Stanley Cup, but this is kind of my Stanley Cup. You come back and you get the ovation, and people care about you. It means the world to me. It means like I did something right, and especially I'm happy for my kids. They can see that because they never see me play.
Right.
I had them a little bit later, and even for them. So I'm just happy the fans did that, and the organization is always nice to me, and they treat me really well. So yeah, I'm just happy about it.
So, what do you say? I mean, so they win Game 1, 3-1, and didn't give Dallas a lot. Yesterday's game, much more scoring, and they still figure it out. How can you kind of explain how encouraging that is? That different styles of game, the Oilers still have the talent and the wherewithal to win whichever way it's going.
Yeah, I talked to Stolly after the game, and we've been together. I think the difference in this series was the fourth line and third line guys. They actually chip in, and they didn't have to rely so much on. Obviously, they have to, but I think the LA didn't. Those third line, fourth line guys didn't chip in so much like the guys in Edmonton. So that was the big difference. And I think if they still continue doing that, the next rounds, and not just relied on like those two players like Draisaitl and McDavid. Obviously, they will do their points, but there will be a lot of tighter games, I think, on the way. And if those guys can chip in, they have a chance.
Ales Hemsky joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. What are you up to now? You're in Dallas?
Yes, I'm in Dallas.
Okay, so what does a retired hockey player do with his time in Dallas? Are you daddy Uber now?
You mean retarded or retired?
Retired.
No, yeah, not much. Let's say like that. I'm happy. I have the options, and I can just be with my kids and my family. And there's no pressure for me to really do anything. I still have to provide, and like that. But I think it's really important for my kids to be there right now, especially in the age they are. They're 5 and 7.
Sure.
I'm coaching them. I'm trying coaching them. I don't want to coach them, but I don't want to become like that. My dad, but my dad gave me everything. But sometimes you just go crazy and you see every mistakes they do, and they're only 5 and 7. So sometimes I have to slow down and just say, hey, they need to have fun and they need to enjoy it. So I'm coaching. I'm at the ring every day.
That's great.
I'm happy with the other kids too. So I'm just learning, and then we'll see where that will go.
And you got to charge your phone.
You
You guys didn't help me too much, but
I was prepared to.
But,
is that the C USB?
Yeah, it's that.
See, I have one in my bag. I had your back, Alice.
Thank you so much.
I would have helped you.
I know the people
media
in
guy did
Edmonton.
not.
People in Edmonton will always help me. So
Always. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for dropping
Alice.
by.
Appreciate it.
thank you so much.
That is Ales Hemsky. Doug Hicks is coming up. We're going to have Ron Lowe on a little bit later on. Who knows who else we might pull in. We'll get to our off-topic topic a little bit later on. We are live at Hockey Helps the Homeless at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar. Back in a couple of minutes.
24-year-old right-handed defenseman Alec Regula has signed a 2-year, two-way extension with the Oilers worth $775,000. The Oilers claimed Regula off waivers from Boston in December, and he's been held out of action due to injuries since. Meanwhile, St. Louis has its back up against the wall as they face the Jets in Game 6. Winnipeg's Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision with a foot injury he suffered in early April after he ran into a ref. In the CFL, the Elks have signed American quarterback William McElveen after he spent the last 3 seasons at the University of Central Kansas, throwing for over 7,000 yards, 58 touchdowns, and 20 interceptions. Basketball has just one game. The Warriors and Rockets tip off. Golden State is up 3-2 in the series. In Toronto, Chris Bassett takes them out for the Jays in their opener against the Guardians, with the Jays beating the Red Sox 4-2 yesterday. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The Reid Wilkins Show continues after the break.
2 guys and a goalie.
I saw this going around on social media platforms, like 100 men versus 1 gorilla. So somebody's asking 100 Casses versus 1 gorilla. Who wins?
Version of me now or version of me in shape and strong? But go for the eyes. Try to hit him in the gonads. Maybe slow him down a little bit.
I like your idea of kicking a gorilla in the nuts.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Time out, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. We sure are. We are live at the Hockey Helps the Homeless event. Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar. The Oilers have advanced to round 2. They will play the team that I have dubbed the Miserable Bastards, the Vegas Golden Knights. The series will start likely Monday or Tuesday. We don't know yet. Obviously, there are a couple other series still to be finished. There still could be, there's going to be one Game 7. We'll see what happens in Game 6 tonight between the Jets and the Blues. So, yeah, we just had Ales Hemsky on, another former Edmonton Oiler, Doug Hicks, joining us here as well. Doug, good to see you again, man. I haven't ran into you for a while.
It's been a while, yeah. I did a couple of those pregame shows with you a couple of years ago, but yeah, good to see you again and back on the air again. And wonderful.
We know we got you pregame here. Your game's coming up at 4.
Yep.
Okay, so we got you for about 10 minutes or so. You got to stretch.
You loosened up, or you
I go to the gym every day. It's part of my routine.
Yeah.
For many years after I retired, my back was quite wonky, so I got on a program probably 15 years ago, just working out, stretching, and yeah, you know what? I can bust off 25 minutes on that cross trainer, and I skate one shift up the ice, and I'm winded. It's like I've never done it again. But hockey and skating is such a different action. But nice and limber out there. And I had Hemmer. He was on my team, so we just give him the puck. And
he goes. Yeah, he can go. Well, we want. I love catching up with you because you've had a very interesting post-career life, which we want to kind of get an update on that. But the Oilers advanced last night, took 6 games to beat the LA Kings. I know you keenly watch everything, and I always find ex-players notice something that guys like me who wear headsets don't always notice. So, as that series went on, or did anything really strike you about the Oilers' victory?
I think the main thing that I gathered out of it was just with Knobloch's handling of the guys, kind of giving them more and more responsibility, and seeing the advancement from, even though they looked a little out of sorts those first 2 games, you could tell things were coming on. They got those 5 goals against Kemper. You could just see them kind of clicking in. So I think the 7th game of the Stanley Cup Finals was the hangover's over now. And the boys have realized, okay, now, we're going to have to put in some time. We're going to have to put in some effort. We're not just going to get handed that finals series again. We got to put some work into it. And, it really came to fruition with them just dominating, the 4 games in a row. And I think another thing I also saw, the boys felt a little bad, and we always do, especially defensemen, when you leave a goaltender out to dry, and I think the boys were feeling a little shame there with, kind of hanging poor old Stewie out there. So they dug down really deep to help out Pick. But, he helped himself out too, made some very timely saves. Didn't need to be magnificent, but he made the timely saves and let the guys get their feet wet.
It is interesting you bring that up because, I worked with Brownie for years. He always said embarrassment is a very powerful because, sometimes when a team fires a coach and then they go, 8-4-1 for a month. Yeah. Like he says, that probably not tactically the coaching making a change. It's the players embarrassed that they cost a guy his job, and then they sort of come baback down to the level. Well, clearly they started checking a little better.
Absolutely. The quote unquote coach's bump, or the guy's not coming in saying anything different than the last guy, but like you said, the embarrassment, the boys are going like, we got that guy fired, let's bring it up for the next guy. So
would you look at I'm going to steal a question that Jay asked a guest the other day. How do you look at Evan Bouchard?
How do I look at Edmonton?
At Evan Bouchard.
Well, Ev, I love the guy. If you want Charlie Huddy and Paul Coffey rolled into one, well, you're not getting it.
Right.
You're going to have to live with the mistakes, and you live with those mistakes. You knuckle down a little bit more to give him a hand, and look what happens. 2 back-to-back 2-goal games, and he's got that it factor, and again, you've got to live with that. Like we did, when Paul first came up when I was playing here in 79, 80, 81, when Paul came up, it was like, and Charlie was the guy said, yeah, go ahead. You want to go dance? Go ahead. I'll be back here for you. And that's what they need to do with the Bush.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. As we go into the next series, it's been, obviously established it's going to be against the Vegas Golden Knights. Generally that, they played each other quite physical, especially this year. But what do you think is going to be, I guess, what would you say is going to be the defining piece for this team to go in and take care of this round?
They're going to have to get in on a forecheck, and again, they're going to have to be more reliable in their own zone from the forecheck you're going to get from Vegas. They're quick, they're fast, they're big, but also we have to get in. They've got some mobile, big defensemen. With our guys, and snipers like Brown is coming on now, and Connor, and there isn't a goaltender that we can't get to. So I'm not worried about getting goalied ever. We've put holes in a lot of goaltenders over the last 2 playoff series. Guys that Kemper's up for what the
hit a 922 during the season.
And we kind of made him look pedestrian. So I'm not worried about the goaltending, but we need to get in on those big defensemen. get control of the puck in their end and be aware of their forechecks. So.
And the one thing, and this is, I started calling them the miserable bastards 2 years ago when they beat the Oilers in the first round.
Yeah.
And Pietrangelo just thought, to hell with it. I'll try to break Leon's arm. You know, and Stone, I'm sure they're great guys away from the rink, but I always say they put on a Vegas Golden Knights jersey, they'll knock over their grandma to try to win the Stanley Cup. So I do think, and I'm curious your opinion, because you would have been in some of these battles when you played. I do wonder if the Oilers are really going to have to up that gamesmanship level, like know when to skate away or know when to give a guy a face wash or lip back or whatever.
Well, we've already seen that, Reid, with Evander coming back healthy now, Frederick finding his legs, if you say, the high ankle sprain gone. Corey Perry playing the same thing. But those two guys, Kane and Frederick, they know the line to walk. And, I'm not saying they're going to fall off. They won't fall off once or twice. But, I think we can kill those penalties. Those are good penalties. But, no, I think the boys know what line they need to walk now. And that physicality that they brought to that LA series already, I think will morph over to the Vegas series, definitely.
So who was the most intimidating player you played with or against? Or the guy that if there was a scrum and he skated in and said, do I need to end this? That everybody was just like, oh, yes, sir, you're right.
Well, remember, I played in I started in 1974, so the Broad Street Bullies, count them. I don't know if I could have to take my feet off to count how many, what did you that word that, or that phrase that they had that. And also, into Boston, like any one of those guys in there too. And they had a couple wing nuts like Wensink and a few of those guys, Terry O'Reilly was a good upfront guy. He wouldn't do that backstab and stuff, but Philly was probably the worst. And I don't know, the Hammer and Hound Dog, and you'd go into the corner and rub out Bobby Clark, and you'd have 5-6 guys going raining blows upon your head. So
that's an interesting question because obviously the game has changed, wholesale change from when you played, and I know it's part. I think a lot of fans now would sometimes prefer to see the game played the way it was back then. But how frustrating is it for you now to watch and see, we've talked about it a lot this week, is refereeing, how inconsistent it is through the league. Was it inconsistent when you played?
No, it wasn't, because the game was, I think back on it and I watch the games now and I'm thinking we were half as fast as the guys nowadays. So the referees, they had a fairly slow, plodding game to follow, and we set up back in those days. Like, we would set up behind the net, we'd put it off to the left side, it would go off to the centerman, and we'd move our way up the ice. Now that if you stand behind the net, the only time I've ever seen any of the series right now where guys were able to stand behind the net or move up to the hash marks in your own end was against LA, because they back off the neutral zone. But if you're not on that puck as a defenseman and getting the hell out of there, you're got guys right on you. So no, I don't blame referees at all. Their job is, and even though they got an extra guy out there compared to our days, I don't envy them their job at all. It's they've got to be frustrated just trying to keep up with the speed of the game and everything that nowadays, where you can put stuff in super slow motion,
right?
Like, let the game get more human. But no, it's so fast.
You make a good point, which is fair for sure. All right, before we let you go, I know you're getting on the ice here right away. I know when you and I first met, probably a decade ago or so, you had Hicks Fine Wines, but you moved away from that. But you're still in the wine world.
Still in the wine world, yeah. I through Kevin Hogan, my buddy. He's a pro at Victoria Golf Course. He and a couple other guys secured a spot back in 1994 when we privatized. He had worked for Todd Crystal over in Kingsway, and I was between jobs. Dave Lumley and I had sold a few Fabutans that we owned, so I was looking for something to do. He said, we're privatizing the wine business. You want to get in the wine business? And I'm like, yep, let's do it. So, being over in Europe for 5 years at the end of my career, I kind of got onto the wine and stuff. So yeah, we 31 years ago now. It's hard to believe. We opened up the Crestwood Wines. We moved into the new center. I ended up selling that, and then I opened up that store in St. Albert at the Shops at Boudreaux. So, and I love it. It's a lifestyle business. I really enjoy it. So, yeah, I wanted to keep my hand in. So I work with a buddy of mine at Bin 104. We keep busy that way.
Okay, then I got to ask you because I enjoy red. My wife enjoys white.
Yep.
A colleague of ours, Matthew Awanek, is a very good. He enjoys red.
Yep.
But we both have found extreme value in certain wines. So we both feel that we can get a pretty good red, specifically red, for under $20 or maybe under $25.
Now, country.
What's that?
Now, are you finding that in country?
I you know what? I'm not even going country. I would usually, honestly, I guess I would tend to more, South American wines myself. But what is the best bang for your buck wine that you've come across?
Right now, I find Spanish wines are overall Spanish wines, not the Riojas. I find the Riojas, they keep them, they're aged a little bit too much, but you get into the Tempranillo or the Grenache, those things. The Spanish government, probably about 10 years ago now, they were their economy was kind of in the toilet, so they put mandates out to all kinds of countries, companies, but especially the wine business. The more you sell, the more we're going to give you rebates on it. So they dropped their prices rock bottom. They started selling so much of it because the value was there, the quality was there, and the price was there. So their economy is going crazy right now. But I think overall, and then I would go, my next choice would be Argentina. But I don't go with the straight Malbecs. I would go always with a cab. I want to have some Malbec in there, but I go with the cab Malbec blend.
Little blend, huh?
Yep.
Okay,
Awesome.
you heard it here
That's a great answer.
Yep. Yeah,
Doug, you're a gem to have on the show. I'm so glad to see you again. We'll have to keep in touch. I know you got to go do your pregame focusing here. Come back with a lot of points and a big plus minus. Big Corsi. We want 60% Corsi.
Corsi.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. A pleasure being on. So
that is Doug Hicks at Hockey Helps the Homeless. It's a Reid Wilkins show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta.
Defenseman Alec Regula and the Oilers have agreed to a 2-year, two-way contract extension. Regula was claimed by the Oilers off of waivers from Boston in December, having yet to suit up for Edmonton due to injury. In the lone NHL game on tap, has the Blues fighting for their playoff lives in Game 6 against the Jets. Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision for Winnipeg. He's been out since April 12th with a foot injury he suffered when colliding with a referee. In the CFL, the Elks have made a few moves, releasing 5 players, including Beaumont native defensive back Jake Taylor, while signing American QB William McElveen from the University of Central Arkansas, with McElveen having over 7,000 yards over the past 3 seasons. On the court, Golden State looks to wrap up their series in 6 games against Houston for the lone NBA game on tap. While in baseball, Chris Bassett takes a mound for the Jays in their series opener against the Guardians, with the Jays fresh off a 4-2 win yesterday against Boston. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, they got plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. We have a brief intermission before the Reid Wilkins Show continues here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Do you have pets? Horses? Chickens? Did the place you used to get your feed recently close down? Have no fear. Clover Bar Feeds is here. Whether it's dogs, cats, horses, or chickens, Clover Bar Feeds has you covered. Offering a large variety of food and feed, you can trust the experts at Clover Bar Feeds. They've been family owned and operated for over 60 years. This means you can expect nothing less than top-notch service and selection. Come visit them at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park or visit them online at cloverbarfeeds.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
I've got something under my skin.
Oh my goodness, what a great Friday afternoon. We are on location. We are in the mobile version of the Banquet Studio. Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. That's today. Spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. Details at thebanquetbar.com. Great to have the Banquet on board as our studio sponsor. And, of course, if you are joining us this afternoon, however you're doing so, we thank you. Maybe you're listening on iHeartRadio. Maybe you're listening on the TuneIn Radio app. You can favorite the station there, make it a preference so it always pops up. Maybe you're using EdmontonSportsTalk.com. All great. And if you're on YouTube, you got the video element as well, so you can see we're at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar for Hockey Helps the Homeless. And if you are on the YouTube stream, hey, don't delay. We want those thumbs, baby. We want to know you're feeling good. We want your thumbs up. We got our show goal, as usual, of 155 to get to a double word of the day later. If everybody got in there and clicked now, we're there.
We're there.
And then we're pushing for 200. But let's focus on getting to 155 as quickly as possible. So don't delay. I know everybody, don't get mad. I can't play the song.
Koob can.
Because we're on. Can he play the song or the remix?
No, he can play the clicks. Give her, Koob.
You caught me. I don't have it on deck right now. I'll set it up.
Okay.
Next one.
We'll get it. We're going to play it. You know we're going to play it.
You were going to get it.
So give us those thumbs up. Click away on YouTube and keep us all buoyant going into what's going to be a great weekend. All right, Jay.
All right. We are pleased to be joined here on the Reid Wilkins Show by Jet Ketty. Jet is here. He is the head coach of the Canadian Ice House team?
Yeah.
Okay, so Coach Ketty, how's it been going thus far?
Horrible.
Horrible? What?
Yes.
What's your record, Coach? What are you guys at?
0-2.
0-2. Okay.
Oh, okay.
0-2 and
Okay.
1.
So it's been a rough start for you. What do you? I mean, you have another game, right? How are we going to turn it around? What do we got to do? What do we got to say to the fellas to get this team a win here at Hockey Helps the Homeless?
Well, they have to get better passing and back check, forward check, paycheck.
Well, I'm not sure there's a big paycheck waiting for any of these guys.
Well, there is a big paycheck for Hockey Helps the Homeless. So they did reach their goal, which we're going to have Ron Lowe on later, and he's going to wrap everything up and put a nice bow on this fantastic event. Jet, I've heard, because a lot of people come through here, okay, and there has been some chatter, there has been some discussion from the off-ice officials about some of the shenanigans and antics that you have been providing on the bench. Have you been chirping any of the other players today?
Yes.
Okay.
Lots.
Okay. So guilty, I guess, as charged. What's your best chirp?
My left nut dangles better than you.
Oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you.
Wow, Jets! This has been fantastic. Do you have anything you'd like to say to our listeners, the Nasties, before we?
You're going to leave it that wide open after what he just said?
I think I have to. I don't know. What's your second best chirp?
I don't have one.
Well, I think that one does. That one's pretty much got it covered.
Now, are you off school today, or are you skipping school?
I skipped school.
Boy, that's okay. Sometimes you got to do things for the,
We'll end with this question.
Sure.
What's going to happen in the second round, Oilers in Vegas?
Oh, baby.
Vegas is going to get crushed.
Okay, what's the series going to be? For what for the Oilers? How many games did it take to win?
4. They're going to win.
They're going to win it 4. They're going to sweep it.
Why not?
Get out the brooms, ladies and gentlemen.
Why not?
You heard it here first. This is Jet Ketty, head coach of Team Canadian Ice House here at Hockey Helps the Homeless. Good luck to you, Coach, in your final game. We hope for the best and keep the chirps going, okay?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Jet.
you guys for having me.
Thank you.
That is a memorable appearance. I believe the youngest person we've ever had on the Reid Wilkins Show.
I think it
delivers the filthiest comment we've ever had on the Reid Wilkins Show. So that's quite
fantastic.
That's quite memorable. Joining us here in the banquet studio.
That was fantastic.
That was fantastic. He's having fun.
Yeah,
why not?
He's a superstar.
That's why we're here. Yep, the Nasty Chat is liking that one. Yeah. And at the start of the interview, Mex Bezozu says this kid is probably a better coach than Hiller. Yeah, he actually uses all his players, believe it or not.
There's Mac T's on his
there's
way
Craig
out.
McTavish. How's it going, Craig? Good to see you. Did you dominate today?
I'd say no.
He's very modest.
Especially after the third game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for a nice sauna, a nice hot tub, and a red wine.
Good. It's good to see you.
Take care, Craig.
Craig McTavish walking by. I was talking to somebody who played against him who, Mac T wanted the puck and he just took it. Like the guys that play the NHL.
I know. I was talking
to Doug Hicks looks like.
Looks like he's 22.
He still looks like a guy who's a high-level athlete. I mean, yeah, he's aged, but like Doug Hicks, it's like probably in better shape.
Aside from Gage, they all look
aside from Gage,
phenomenal
That's
shape.
nice. That's really nice.
Call a spade a spade. Gage is a big boy. These guys look like they've lost weight. I don't know how they've done it, but this has been a fantastic event here today, hasn't it, Reid?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. We will have Ron Lowe, great storyteller. I know he joined you guys for a bit on the Hangout as well, but he's kind of going to wrap up the day and just remind everybody how Hockey Helps the Homeless works and who benefits from all this, which is really cool. Jamie Thomas will join us to talk some Oilers.
Yeah,
talk some Jets Blues, which is now maybe that's the series that. Well, I guess that's the only game you can watch tonight if you're watching NHL, but maybe that's the only Canadian team still going.
Yeah.
Sens are out. Habs are out. Leafs advance. As I said.
You were right. I was wrong.
But we both had them winning the series.
Yeah.
And the Oilers...
my Oilers in
advanced.
6 came through.
Your Oilers, you nailed Oilers in 6, and I did say the Oilers would win 4 straight.
Now, tomorrow, that's true, you did.
Though I said it would be the first 4.
Tomorrow, my Dallas in 7 can come true.
Yeah, I think I had Dallas in 5.
Actually, I had Leafs in 6.
You nailed the. You got the. I had Leafs in 7s. It's just you thought Ottawa. You flipped. You thought Ottawa was going to win last night.
I did. Yeah, I had Leafs in 6.
We'll have to check.
We'll have to go back.
I think we're doing okay. Well, see, I went with a couple upsets, right? I took Montreal and I took the Blues, which could still happen. The Blues are right in.
Maybe on Monday after everything's settled, we can go.
Yeah, we'll recap
round.
Our first round, and we'll have to do.
Obviously,
pardon me. We'll have to do second round picks because it's fun doing predictions at this time of year.
This is an interesting question. I mean, I know we're kind of meandering here a bit. That 'tis the day. Tis the on location here at Hockey Helps the Homeless, and we'll keep talking about last night's game. Obviously, we're going to look ahead to the Vegas Golden Knights series. But this question comes in: what does Browns and Perry next Oiler contract look like? Because Perry was a 1 year.
Oh,
right?
I don't know.
But I mean, I guess is that Corey Perry's not going to ask for more money, right?
No, and maybe he doesn't play anymore.
You think? No, I think it's got something
Well,
left
I don't
in
know.
the
What if
tank.
they win the cup? Does he say I'm good? It's been a blast.
If they win the cup, sure, I could see that. But if they win the cup, nothing matters. Really, that's good. You're good.
Yeah, I don't know about Brown. I mean, Brown's clearly a different player in the last 5 games than he was in the last 6 games than he was. Well, maybe in the last 4 as opposed to the first 84. But I don't think you can pay Brown more than what you pay a good third liner anymore. We are, of course, live on location at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar, and we have a recreation center themed off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536.
So given that we are in a rec center, Reid and I were sitting around earlier just kind of taking in and soaking up the rec center vibes. But whether you grew up playing hockey or everybody has familiarity with rec centers. And I want to know, what's your guilty pleasure for the rec center? What's the thing that you can only get at a rec center that it just maybe it tastes better, maybe it feels better. For me, it's usually a good, those little cardboard, they're like a little cardboard bowl that you get the French fries served in.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the ketchup out of the thing. French fries, for me, that's probably my guilty pleasure if I'm at a rec center. So what is your guilty pleasure at a rec center? Reid, you got anything?
Yeah, I think that's a good one.
But you know the container I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everybody can see that with their eyes, that really flimsy cardboard.
Yeah, I would say mine might be food related to, like, getting some fast food that
like
I usually wouldn't
chicken
get.
Tenders or something?
Because, when you are in a rec center, your options do become a little bit limited.
Yes.
But then you kind of like, oh, you know what I have? Like today I got Subway. I haven't had Subway in years. And I enjoyed it. I had a steak and bacon 6-inch sub. Very good. So that's sort of a general thing. But I'm wondering, because for some people it might be like a machine that they use or an exercise that they do.
Maybe the old ice
or an old pair of shorts that they wear, something like that.
Remember the old ice sharpener machines that used to be in every rec center? You just
they
put it
probably
in.
Still are.
It might be. But yeah, smell, the pool, is the hot tub at a rec center a guilty pleasure? Because it's probably
that
disgusting.
would be for sure. Yeah, I think that.
Right. But yeah, send it in.
So that's our off-topic topic. What is your rec center guilty pleasure? You can email Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, Jay at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. You can text the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. And you can also post, if you're willing to do it publicly, in the nasty chat on YouTube. I wonder if we're going to get some, hey, don't say my name, but
right.
I like to wash my gaunch in the sink at a rec center. That's my guilty pleasure.
Well, at the pool, they do have those things you can put your swim trunks in, and it rapidly spins it to dry it. You can maybe come and bring your wet laundry here and save
that's
the fee
true.
on the dryer.
That's true.
Rob from the Grove says wave pool, love the Millwoods Rec Center as a kid because of it. Jason and LeDuc says my guilty pleasure. Hang on, my guilty pleasure at the Rec Center is pickleball in the wintertime.
Yeah, I saw people playing pickleball.
I don't know if that's.
I've still never tried pickleball. You and I should play doubles pickleball. I bet we'd dominate.
I bet you we would be just torched. We would. And
the league leaders in yellow cards, Mr. Milne and Mr. Wilkins.
Yeah, it would be me.
It
Playing
appears
hoops.
I'm dominating you at pickleball, McLean.
Chris Purpur says playing hoops when trying to throw away sock tape after a hockey game. That's a good one.
Well, that's a really good one.
That's a really good one. Well done. Well done. And Norman at Combine says booster juice. And he says the smell from the sauna.
Is his guilty pleasure.
Well, he does.
Yeah, it does have a very unique smell.
He does have a barfing emoji behind it, so I don't know if it's
so that might
guilty
be
pleasure or just
maybe his guilty displeasure.
Displeasure, yeah. I love the smell of a good sauna, like a cedar wood sauna. Doesn't get much better than that.
All right, of course, announced earlier this week, very exciting. Edmonton Sports Talk is now presented by Play Alberta. Experience all the excitement of the casino in the palm of your hand. Download the Play Alberta app today and deposit $20 using the EST exclusive promo code 100casino, so 100 casino, for a $100 casino bonus. And one of the many exciting things that we're doing with Play Alberta on board is that about 4:40 every day, my buddy Mr. Milne will have Jay's Play of the Day.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what it is today.
It's going to be an interesting one.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's a parlay.
Now explain what a parlay is for people who might be new to sports gambling.
That's a great. Well, we'll do it at the segment.
Do it at the segment.
I'll explain a parlay.
Or do you need to look it up to get it?
No. I know that. I know what a parlay is.
Yeah, Jay, I'll check on that right now.
I love me a parlay. But we'll talk about it then and dive into it. And I'll explain a little bit more. I did have a conversation with a good friend of mine, Sickler. He did say that he wants to get into it, but he doesn't understand it. So, people, if you are wondering anything, and no question is stupid, I mean that. On behalf of Play Alberta, I can represent them and tell you much as I know about what you need to know about wagering on sports. It's not hard. You don't have to do a lot. You can do it for fun and obviously use your game sense, as they say. But, it's a great way to make a game like tonight, Winnipeg and St. Louis, just a little bit extra.
It's a very easy site to use.
Fantastic
interface. And you don't have to do parlays or overrun. You can just be like, I think this team is going to win.
Well, yeah.
Click, and before you commit to the bet, it'll tell you how much you're going to win.
Yep.
So maybe you'll think, oh, you know what, I'm really confident in that. I'll bet a little more. Or you think, okay, and you don't have to be intimidated by the amounts. Like, if you want to put $1 on a game, put $1.
Yeah.
If you have more, maybe that you want to risk, that's fine as well. But playalberta.ca, they got the app now. They got the cool logo with the side of the P, the stem of the P. It looks like the province of Alberta. So we're really happy to have them on board presenting Edmonton Sports Talk. Okay,
hang on. I do want to get to this because I had to get to it earlier. Okay. This is a great limerick that came in from Jeff in YYZ. He says, Happy Friday. Oilers 1, Regicide 4. Fans to experience more. Versus the Knights in round 2 delights. Who's the hero that does shoot and score?
Who's that from?
Done. Jeff and YYZ.
Jeff from YYZ, pretty good stuff. I think Bronco Nick sent one in as well, so we'll have to get to his. Keep clicking away at that thumbs up on YouTube. We are almost at 100.
Hey.
So pretty good for the first hour, but don't delay. Get in there and click. Let's go. Let's get the energy going into the weekend here and celebrate that Oilers series victory. So here's what we'll do. We had 3 special guests already in the first hour, which is pretty incredible. So we were gonna do the Oil Understood at 3:40. Koob will do the Oil Understood when we get back.
Yep.
Okay, and then we'll push buying or selling for Damon Bunting back further in the show. I think Doug Hicks brought up something we might want to buy or sell, which is pretty interesting. But the Oil Understood will kind of break down some of our key thoughts from last night's victory and from the Oilers' first round victory in general. Along with Jason Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins, Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The Lock Shop.
Big news. Nikolai Ehlers pulling a full Undertaker, full contact jersey, skating on the second line with Lowry and Perfetti. Listen, this team stepped up in such an incredible fashion in the second and third period without Scheifele, already without Ehlers. And the difference he makes on the power play is night and day. Gets me even more fired up to drop the puck tonight for Game 6.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean?
For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your bad game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your bad game. Play more tables and games.
PlayMoreGames.ca.
Defenseman Alec Regula and the Oilers have agreed to a 2-year, two-way contract extension, with Regula being claimed off waivers by the Oilers in mid-December, having yet to suit up for Edmonton due to an injury he sustained as a part of the Bruins. The lone NHL game on tap tonight has the Blues fighting for their playoff lives against the Jets in Game 6. Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision for Winnipeg. He's been out since mid-April with a foot injury he suffered when colliding with a referee. In the CFL, the Elks have made a few moves, releasing 5 players, including Beaumont native and defensive back Jake Taylor, while signing American quarterback William McElveen from the University of Central Arkansas, with McElveen having over 7,000 yards through the past 3 seasons. On the court, Golden State looks to wrap up their series in 6 games against Houston. That's a lone game on tap in the association. In baseball, Chris Bassett takes a mound for the Jays in their series opener against the Guardians, with the Jays fresh off a 4-2 win yesterday against the Red Sox. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The second hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, it is a pleasure to have you joining us this afternoon along with Jason Milne. I'm Reid Wilkins. We are with you until 6 o'clock tonight. The Oilers have advanced, so all our incredible Oilers coverage will continue. We'll have the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pre- and post-game shows whenever the Oilers play. For the 8 o'clock games, we'll keep on extending our show until 6:30 and having Tom and Hernan and company on at 6:30. I assume there'll be some 8 o'clock games. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a 9 o'clock game. You never know how late the NHL is going to push it.
Don't tell that to Tom and Hernan.
Don't tell that to the NHL schedule maker.
No.
But no, it's been incredible. We're having we love bringing you all this coverage. It's such an exciting time in the city. I mean, of course, last night, like as people know, Tom's at the Ice House for the home games. I've been joining him pre and post as well. Reeds presented by Edmonton Garrison Memorial Golf and Curling Club. Great energy in oil country, in the city. We love hearing too from fans in other parts of the world who have to listen at sometimes unusual times to follow their favorite team and tune into Edmonton Sports Talk. So we love all that as well. It's a fun time of year, and this is a good era of Oilers hockey. This is a very good era of Oilers hockey.
Yes.
They need to do one thing to make it a great and unforgettable era of Oilers hockey, but a lot of positive things about the team here. We want to thank, by the way, Brian Rode and everybody at Marmot Basin, because for all winter long and even into the spring, because they still are able to ski when things warm up, we've had the Marmot Basin Ski Report. Brian's been great hopping on, telling stories, talking about Marmot, talking about skiing, talking about life in Jasper. SkiMarmot.com is where you've gone for all their great deals. So we thank Brian for that. He's been an awesome addition to Edmonton Sports Talk, and they have their ski report on the Nielsen show as well. So we thank Brian and everybody at Marmot Basin, SkiMarmot.com. Buddy of yours.
Very good friend. Yes. No, Brian Brian's great. He couldn't make it on. He was going to come on today, but he's just got so much stuff going on with wrapping everything up there.
So are they still skiing this weekend, or did it?
I believe like today's the last.
Today's the last day. Okay.
Yeah, which is amazing. I mean, look at the weather here.
Right.
To think that you could be 3 hours west skiing, that would be that would be something else if you were up there on the mountain today. But no, we really appreciate the support from Marmot Basin. I know that's quickly become a family favorite for the Glue fam, the Glue crew, who you all saw earlier here on the show.
All right. 780-218-9999 is how you can text us, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday. That is from 4 to 10 p.m. So now the most common question we're getting asked is, when does the series start? We don't know. Monday or Tuesday, very likely. I think we still got to see how these other two Western Conference series end up, but Vegas will have home ice advantage, so the first two games will be in Vegas. As we dive into the Oil Understood, presented by GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. Okay.
Nice shot there, Koob.
Good job, Koob.
Of the empty studio.
Koob cut back to the empty studio for everybody watching on YouTube. And again, on YouTube, keep hammering away at that thumbs up button, by the way. We're almost at 100, and we want to get to 155 by the time we do Word of the Day. So, watching last night's game, and I was of course lucky enough to be in the rink for it. Wild start to the game. So it did not go the way Edmonton wanted, especially after Game 5. And obviously a lot of us, well, I certainly was, we're pretty optimistic after Game 5, because you watched Game 5 and thought Edmonton played pretty well at the perfect game. I mean, yes, they got scored on. I mean, sure, but in terms of a sport like hockey where so much can happen, even in a short time frame, the Oilers were in control. Kemper was the only reason the Kings even had a hope in that game. And you think, okay, the Oilers have, I guess, steadied the ship. And then you come back to Game 6, and I rewatched that goal.
Byfield's goal.
Connor's not perfect. McDavid's not perfect. I don't know why he swooped by the guy who was getting the puck out on the wall. Like I think that was one of those plays where Kubusch looked bad, but I think that was McDavid swooping by the guy that started all that. Anyway,
yeah,
stuff happens. You get scored on.
Well, hang on. Let's pause for a second, though, because did that give you a little bit of pause and say, oh, boy, that was a very poorly played defensive structure by the Oilers on that opening goal? Like that was what caused
you know what,
the chaos for Oilers fans early in the series.
Yeah, I mean, you realize there was a breakdown on that goal. But I personally, now I'm not invested emotionally like a lot of our audience is going to be. I personally never, I'm not saying I'm confident the Oilers were going to win, but I never felt that the Oilers were really on the back heel.
Yes.
Because they came back and scored. And this is kind of where I want to go with this. If you look at the types of goals that were scored, they were very playoff-style goals. You know, it was not let's razzle-dazzle, let's pass the puck 15 times and then get a backdoor tap in because we're just so darn skilled. And, of course, skill is important. But some of the players now who are rising to the occasion, okay, so that the Henrique goal that Brown shot, I guess it went in off Henrique's arm or whatever, you know, get the puck around the net.
Yeah.
Work to keep it alive. Henrique is camped out right at the top of the crease. Brown hustles for a puck, keeps it alive. He lost it for a sec.
Yeah.
Gets it back, put it on the net. Maybe it hits something. Maybe you get a break. You know, so that goal. Then they got the power play goal, which was, you know, a great pass by McDavid, and then Nuge finishes with one of his patented shots.
Can I ask you about that goal?
Yes.
That McDavid goal? Or, sorry,
the Nuge goal?
beautiful shot, by the way.
Yeah.
And just on the stick, off the stick, bang, bang. Like, that's good. But did you find at the start of that power play, and I saw LA trying to do this a few times, and it usually burnt them. Okay, so this is, once again, going to go back to, was this a game plan decision? Because if it was, I didn't really agree with it. But the pressuring of if Connor McDavid or one of the point players had the puck, did you find that the Kings were pressuring them more as opposed to just trying to keep their box intact and defend this power play properly?
They did that,
because that's what opened up that cross-seam pass to Nuge.
Well, they did that the entire series, and it did work early. So then do you go away? But I mean, that's what I've been saying. And what did Doug Hicks say when we had him on the last hour? He said there's no goaltender in the NHL that scares him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the one thing I said going into this series. Yes, the Kings can defend well, and Kemper's had a great season, but it's the job of the high-end players to crack through the defending. And over a 7-game series, you hope that they are going to do that. And that's how I felt the Kings were playing with fire, because I think a lot of offensive players, especially on a power play situation, would say, great, come at me. I'll step around you. Or leave the area of the ice that you usually would be in, and I'll put the puck there. I mean, again, to quote Rob Brown, I mean, I was lucky enough to work with the guy for over a decade, so I heard a lot of wise stuff. Like he said, Jaromir Jagr used to say, if I am double teamed, do not come to me for puck support. Do not come to me. I'll find you. I'm good enough. So Jagr was like, if two guys, like a lot of guys would panic if they had the puck and two guys came to check them. Jagr and Draisaitl is kind of like that as well. Like he does his reverse check and leans back into guys. So that's sort of the same theme that I think you're asking me about. That eventually, if you're aggressive on the PK, the way that the Kings, because I think the Oilers are aggressive on the PK, but in select moments. When there's a bobbled puck, when there's a race for the puck along the wall. So I think you make a good point that if you are aggressive and then you have a skilled team that can move the puck, when does your aggression make it look like you're running around? And then Connor slices a pass through now a deformed box, basically, and Nuge snipes it. That's a really good question, Jay. But I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. You're rolling the dice if you're aggressive in that way constantly with the high end guys, because eventually they're going to find a spot.
Yeah, and even the third goal, Reid. Nurse puts a puck towards the net, right off the draw.
Yeah,
Hyman goes to the net front presence. I mean, a beautiful tip. Yeah. You have to call a spade, but that was a harmless shot.
But a simple
It was on the ice.
Play.
It was just a simple puck on the ice towards the net. Let your forwards, let your players like Hyman do the work and get it past Kemper. So yes, that was great to see, and I felt as the series moved on, that style of play showed itself a lot more.
Yes,
that gritty, that just kind of ugly.
Just put it around the net.
Get it around there.
Like, what was the puck? I can't remember which game it was. Might have been game 4. Like, Wallman just put it. Oh, was it the Bouchard tying goal? Or the Bouchard 3-2 goal? Like, just lob it to the net. Hits somebody. Bounces back in front. Bouch partially fans on it. Hits Doughty and goes in.
Yep.
And then the goals in the second period, and there's one specifically here I want to focus on. First of all, great play by Arvidsson to get it over the line.
Yes.
Done to keep it on side and keep the play alive. And then, Nurse just sizes up where he wants to put it. But then the Frederick goal. And I thought to myself, okay, so Connor Brown, it starts in the defensive end. He recognizes the puck's along the wall. It's going to come out. He gets to that spot on the wall. He catches the puck. He knocks it down. And what does he do? He skates as fast as he can in a straight line. Didn't look to cycle it back and a controlled. No, he's going. Frederick hops up. Henrique hops up into the play. And then they drive the net. Like, these are simple play. Again, these are plays that you teach little kids. Shoot from the line. Try to tip it. Go to the net. And I know you like this player. But if an Oiler player made this play, we'd be dissecting what a bad play it was. Adrian Kempe is pursuing Trent Frederick.
He's with him.
And he gives him a little tug in the hip, okay?
He was, yeah. Okay.
And then he leaves him, and then Henrique is almost there. So I'm not saying Kempe should be expected to cover two men. That's not a great situation for him. But when that goal was scored, both Frederick and Henrique had their sticks in the crease. Adrian Kempe peeled off to the right of his goaltender. What are you taught? Go to the net and stop. Like defensive players, penalty killers, stop on the puck or stop on the front net, stop on the play. So Kempe, who's a wonderful player, and I'm not blaming him solely for this goal, but I'm saying if an Oiler player quit on a back check like that, it'd be 12 hours of texts and posts to Edmonton Sports Talk about that player.
It would.
So, yes, it was a tough situation. It was an odd man rush, but if Kempe drives back and jostles Frederick, even cross-checks him, we know cross-checking is not going to get called in the crease unless you do it to the guy's head. Does something to a fine line, right? That little thing. The Oilers finished that play. They went to the net and they finished that play. Defensively, Kempe didn't finish that play, and really that 5-2 goal, it was over. I thought. I know the Kings got back within one, but I thought they got it now. They're not going to get outscored 6-5 or 7-6.
No, and if you look at that goal, the Frederick goal, the not just Kempe, it was just a lackluster effort to back check on that play, because I don't know if they didn't feel it posed a high level threat, or that because Connor Brown was checked that he couldn't do anything, but there was two players wide open in front of the net. So that that lead, you look at that and you say, okay, were they gassed? Were they just out of breath?
Right.
And I think they were, and I think they showed that, and combined that with the style of play that Edmonton started to show and got better and increased during the series. That bodes well for the Oilers. Now the question is, going into this series against Vegas, that's the difference. That's a different animal in Vegas, right? I mean, they have the lines, they have the forward lines and the D lines to roll through.
And maybe that's why I've given them that name. It's not necessarily because they're cheap or aggressive, though I think they can be.
Sure.
But they're thorough. They don't give up that last inch of the ice or that last foot to the net, usually. All right. But, quick breakdown of last night's game for the Well Understood for GCL Diesel. We are on location today, so it is a mobile version of the Banquet Studio. Celebrate your birthday at the Banquet Bar. Amazing drinks, great vibes, and unforgettable memories. Book your party today at thebanquetbar.com. It's a party in oil country. Is the Whiteout going to be having a party tonight in Winnipeg? We'll visit with our buddy Jamie Thomas for a little bit of Jets Blues discussion, and who knows what else when we bring you back to the Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne.
The Oilers have signed defenseman Alec Regula to a 2-year, two-way deal worth just under $1 million. Regula was claimed by the Oilers off of waivers from Boston in December and has been rehabbing an injury since then, not seeing any action with the Oilers just yet. Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision for the Jets in Game 6 tonight against the Blues as Winnipeg looks to close out their series. He's been out since mid-April after he collided with a referee, which forced him out of action with a foot injury. And the Elks have signed American quarterback William McElveen from the University of Central Arkansas. In 32 games over the last 3 years with the University of Arkansas, he's recorded over 7,000 throwing yards with 58 touchdowns. And basketball has just one game. Houston hits the court in Golden State with the Rockets down 3-2 in the series. And in baseball, the Jays and Guardians have their series opener. Chris Bassett gets the ball for Toronto with the Jays taking the Red Sox 4-2 yesterday. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sports Medicine. You can call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.com.ca to book an appointment today. Jamie Thomas from the Ground Control podcast joins the fellas on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
Craving a late night snack? Hit the Banquet for our new late night happy hour. Sunday to Thursday, 9 p.m. till close. Try favorites like sweet and spicy lettuce wraps or our Banquet burger and fries. All at happy hour prices. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
All right, there is the Thumb Click remix, as put together by the one and only Zachary Kubusch, who's back at the Edmonton Sports Talk Global HQ. We appreciate it, Koob. I know you don't get to be on location, but that's okay. You're doing a great job back there. Our sports update deliverer as well. We're with you until 6 o'clock. The Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. We will have Ron Lowe. Ron's going to join us now in about 15 or 20 minutes to put a wrap on Hockey Helps the Homeless and give us some thoughts on the Oilers knocking off the Los Angeles Kings. And, wrong headset.
I put on the wrong headset. I'm like, why are all the levels changed on here?
What's going on? Yeah. And do we have...
I would just say whenever you got them.
Yeah, whenever you got them,
throw them up.
Just put them up. Maybe we don't have them. You might have forgot.
Oh, Matt Hyman says Rec Center slush puppies.
Yes, that'd be good.
That was good. There was a couple others. Mex Bazzozo says, I don't really have a good guilty pleasure, but no better feeling than holding court in pickup basketball in a rec center. That is true.
Oh, that would be a good feeling. Yeah.
You're the king of the court. And, your group of three can't be beat. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome day. Hockey Helps the Homeless going on here at the Terwillegar Rec Center, the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar is the full and proper name, which we will endeavor to use as often as possible. Yeah, Zamboni going on the ice behind us, if you can see it there on YouTube. Keep clicking that thumbs up button on YouTube. We want to get to 100. Well, first goal is to get to 100. We have done that. Then we got to get to 130 for a word of the day, 155 for a double word of the day. We have about a 2-week streak of 200 thumbs.
Yeah,
we'd like to keep that going. I don't know if there's some thumb fatigue today, or people used their thumbs so often last night with the Oilers' victory, but let's rally here with the thumbs for sure. We've been here. Our station's been here all day broadcasting from this awesome event.
Yeah. it has been fun.
All right, let's do buying or selling here. Buying or selling presented by Damon Bunting, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com, or the Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Doug Hicks was on with us earlier, former NHL defenseman, former Edmonton Oiler, now a keen watcher of the National Hockey League and the Oilers playoffs. And you and I, maybe more so me, though at times you, I have felt that this has not been a very well-officiated postseason in general.
Mm-hmm.
Oilers series and other series, we've seen cross-checks missed. Certainly we saw Byfield miss his covering the puck in the crease. I felt was blatantly missed by Kendrick Nicholson in Game 5. You highlighted Brendan Gallagher getting smoked in the face with a cross-check by a Washington player, I think back in Game 1 of that series, no call. But Doug Hicks said, he basically said that it is now a harder sport, a harder league to referee because of the speed of the players. Now, I would argue, fair enough, but they also have two guys on the ice, so you should just each, watch what's going on in front of you and call the obvious stuff. Are you buying or selling that the speed of the National Hockey League makes it difficult to officiate correctly?
I think that's I think that would be letting the issue off the hook too easy. I understand, and I mean, he played the game, Reid. I didn't. So who am I to say that he's wrong? It's his opinion, and although he very well could be right, my disdain for referees in general, especially in the professional ranks. I don't have disdain for amateur referees. They're trying to. These guys get paid, right? These are people's jobs, and they continually let the fans of the league down. I mean, okay, has the NFL sped up? Right?
Yes, I would say so.
NFL's gotten stronger, faster. Has Major League Baseball? But I mean, look at what Major League Baseball did. They went to a robot for a strike zone, right, where you can now challenge it.
Right.
So I just think the biggest. The bang bang plays, like the offsides that you say now are called, and did this puck go over the line or not? I mean, that's stuff that technology, Reid, will take care of. So maybe at that point you can ask your officials to now have to clearly focus on the task at hand, on watching the game, I guess, a little bit differently.
Right.
But the speed of the game, I mean, how couldn't it affect, the ability to call penalties? But at the same time, for younger referees that are coming up, they're learning how to referee a game properly at this speed.
Right.
So it shouldn't be of surprise, especially at the National Hockey League level. So no, I'm going to sell on that. Are you buying or selling?
I think I'm selling. I do think there's something to Doug's position, though.
I agree.
I mean, and this has been discussed in the past. Is Connor so fast that the refs can't get into position to see how he's being fouled? Perhaps sometimes, but I just think. I think that the blatant calls that you and I feel we've missed, and I'll just leave it to us because everybody could have their own opinions on what was a missed call or what wasn't. I think most of the calls that we feel were missed or not enforced properly were not related to the speed of the game.
No.
They were happening right in front of a referee who just decided not to make a call. Or decided, I got to let that go because I can't. They're just playing hard. Or, I can't call that every time. So again, Gallagher being cross-checked, Byfield covering the puck, Brant Clark cross-checking Kane, Perry tripping whoever he tripped in Game 1. this happened right in front of officials. It wasn't because a guy was so fast that he skated to where an official didn't think he would be, and then an official is trying to recover and can't see the full play. I do think that might happen sometimes. I do think the speed of the game is a challenge for officials, and I do know from talking to people that they want, if you're going to be an official, you have to skate really well, right? Like you have to be able to do it. Linesmen have to be able to keep up, get in right positions, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't. To me, that wouldn't be a primary reason. I just think officials have a strange standard sometimes that varies from game to game, that the league maybe needs to reset. What is cross-checking, what is holding, what is hooking, all that kind of stuff.
But that gets away on you pretty quick. If you're saying, well, no, it's not the time and place of the game to call this penalty because, there's 5 minutes left in a tight game in the third. That's too far. It's gotten away on you already because it wasn't in control from the start. This comes in from Lloyd Braun. Doug's position is BS. If the game is too fast, is the game too fast to see Pickard get blown up last night? Is it too fast to see Kane cross-checked into the net at full speed? I mean, those are things that, okay, I get it. The referee that's down on the goal line, he's watching the action in the goal, right, around the net. The referee that's at the blue line, that's what you're supposed to be doing, is watching what's happening outside of that. That's why there are two people there. So no, and so that's clearly saying that they're choosing not to call a penalty, right?
Well, quite frankly, I mean, I always try to.
Do you think they just didn't see it? I don't believe that either.
Well, and didn't Arvidsson get away with one in the third period?
What?
Didn't he punch Gavrikov in the face, or was it Edmondson?
Oh, yes. No, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, and the refs talked about it.
Nobody saw it, though. And that's what McDavid skated over and said. He said, hey, guys,
you can't make something up.
You can't call something you didn't see.
Right, which is true.
Right? And good on him for doing that.
But the Kings would be saying what we're saying. How is nobody in position to say this?
That's fair.
To see this. But I'm selling what Doug is saying, but I'm not going to throw it away and maybe as a future concern for training NHL officials, like how important skating is going to be or positioning, right? Or like don't in basketball, don't they divide up who looks at what? Because I feel like in hockey, like sometimes the guy in center calls a violation behind the net and the ref 20 feet away. So obviously they can call whatever they see. Like in hockey, do you need to say if you're the center ice guy, you're not watching below the goal line. You got to watch the other stuff.
Yes.
Because in basketball, don't they each have their sector?
Absolutely. That's why they switch. That's why they go opposite sides so that you can't miss that. And the NHL, honestly, I really sincerely mean this. I think they have to address it.
Right. All right. You got one as well for buying or selling for Damon Bunting?
Yeah. Is Hiller to blame? Why don't we bring Ron Lowe in for this?
Yeah, we can bring Ron Lowe in right now.
I think he knows a few things about hockey. Give his.
How are you, Ron?
I'm good today, boys.
Yeah,
thanks for doing this.
It's almost over.
How's it? Is it good level in your ear, or do you want to turn down?
No, it's fine.
Okay. We're just going over a segment on our show called "Buying or Selling" for Damon Bunting Real Estate, and the question that I just presented to Reid is, well, I'm going to ask you as well: is buying or selling that Jim Hiller is as responsible for that series loss as any of the players on the ice, the head coach of the LA Kings?
I guess you coach the way you think you have to coach to win the series. Probably what he did, but I don't think you can play the Oilers at 4D.
Yeah.
I just think there's too much pressure on a constant basis. And then you throw Kempe in as a fourth defenseman for the last 5, 8 minutes, 10 minutes of each game. I don't know. But you know what? I can't criticize a coach because I've been in them shoes.
Yeah, you would know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and if it doesn't, like if it works, you look like a genius.
I know.
And if you think you're playing the odds and it doesn't work, you get ripped apart. Right?
I think in the end, the balance that Edmonton had on 4 lines kind of most likely threw the theory that 3 lines is going to work against them, because it probably would have had Kane and
Frederick.
Yeah, been in the lineup, because the minute that happened, it changed the whole dynamics, I think, of the game.
Yeah.
Every game was different, and it got better because those guys were becoming a little bit more acclimated to the situation. See, those guys haven't played for a long time.
Yeah.
I thought they were awesome. I thought they had a big influence on the way the whole thing ended up.
Well, I thought Kane, and I said this with Tom last night, in the 4 games the Oilers won all around, he might have been their most important player. Nothing against anybody else or Pickard coming in, just, I guess I always say, I notice a guy. I noticed him in the offensive zone, and I noticed him along the boards, digging to get pucks out, all that stuff.
And almost every time that he went in for a puck, he either got it or he had something to do with it being thrown away. And to me, you watch that series, he has a demeanor about him. And I think that they had a huge bearing on the way things turned.
So how does a coach manage, would you have you been aware of how many shifts or how many minutes a guy was at? Was an assistant telling you that? And you got to have the sense of, okay, is my fourth line involved tonight? Are they doing what I want? Because in overtime, Knobloch played the fourth line, but they kind of would skip one in the rotation and then go out. Is he barking at them, okay, guys, we're going 1 through 3, then 1 through 4, or is he tapping them on the fly? To me, it's so interesting how they decide all that.
I don't know. I never had anybody tell me ice time because I didn't want to know if I was using Dougie Weight too much. I mean, in the end result, you look at it and you go, am I overplaying Curtis Joseph? And I don't really care, boys, but that's the way it's going to be. I think you feel the game out, but I do know that if 4 lines are being effective, I think you got to get them all involved. Right. And you got to get them all involved early, and you got to keep the involvement in case it goes 3 extra overtimes. Because you don't know when it's going to end.
Yeah.
So let's move and transition into Hockey Helps the Homeless, which obviously you and your wife are very involved with. You organize this, and just let our listeners know how it went. Did you meet your goal, and what this goes to do, and who this helps?
I think that we're going to exceed our goal, which is awesome news because my wife's on the committee. I'm on the committee once every 3 or 4 phone calls, and unbelievable. If we exceed it, it's great. If we get what we got to, I think we beat Calgary, and that's what we're kind of drilling for.
Always.
It's always the same.
Sure.
But the winners in the whole thing, first of all, are the participants, because they went out and raised all the money. And then your alumni in Edmonton deserve a huge shout out too, man. They come out, they show up, you phone and ask, and they're going, yeah, we'll do this one. And it's crazy because they have to play 3 games in a day.
Right.
I mean, Mac T and Charlie Huddy and those guys aren't spring chickens, but they played them and they came out of it unbelievable. Keith Acton, I think he played 4 games today.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah. And then the 3 charities, the money that's raised here stays here, which is an awesome, I like that part of it. And Jasper Place Wellness Center is a group in town that actually try and get the homeless into a home. They house them, but there's a caveat with it, and that is you have to work. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing drugs, like Murray told me one day, he goes, 95% of my guys I know are having a problem. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I don't want them to tell me coming in that they don't, because that's not how it works. We want to try and help clean that up. But now these people are working. And not only that, they're home, they've got homes, they're working. So the medical facilities in our city aren't being taxed by, I think there's 180 or 160 people that are now not a burden on society. They are looking, in fact, they're becoming pieces of it. So I love that one. And Kids Cottage to me is it's one where my daughters have both had babies in the last 18 months. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, would I not want to have one of my daughters with a baby and be in a bad relationship? No place to go.
Yeah.
Kids Cottage to me is like amazing. They do amazing work. It's not big enough. I don't think there's enough funding for it, but they do what they can do and help as many people as they can. And the mustard seed, everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's been here a long time. They do a great job of helping people and feeding people in the end. But like the homeless is not just guys that are sitting out in the streets pushing around grocery carts. You have all kinds of people that are homeless that are sleeping on friends' couches because they don't have a home.
Yeah.
And you know what? Anything we can do to help that situation, I think is awesome.
Well, Ron, awesome. Again, you and Linda and everybody do such a great job. And you mentioned it. This is such a positive day. And I'm glad you listed off who you're helping and how you help, because I think it's important for people to hear that as well. And they can look up all those organizations as well if they want to help in other parts of the year.
Well, 100%. We just don't have to do it during Hockey Helps the Homeless Week because they need it all the time. But you know what? One of the things about Edmonton, man, they're a giving city.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I go to the hockey game and look at the 50-50, I'm going, you know what? Somebody's going to win some money.
Yeah.
But they're doing it because it's a cause. That's each night there's a cause.
It's a great thing. Yeah.
And I think Edmonton people are unbelievable that way. Just unreal.
Ron, thanks so much for joining us. I know you had a busy day. You were on our station, I think, at least twice today, maybe more. Enjoy the second round against Vegas.
I'm definitely going to enjoy it. And I don't think I'll be betting any over-unders.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good to know. Hey, thanks again, Ron. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Really appreciate it. Thanks.
That is Ron Lowe checking in here at Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar for Hockey Helps the Homeless. Jamie Thomas out of Winnipeg when we get back to the Reid Wilkins Show.
After being claimed off of waivers from Boston in December, defenseman Alec Regula has signed a 2-year, 2-way extension with the Oilers. And St. Louis is on the brink of elimination in Game 6 against the Jets. Winnipeg's Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision after he's been out since mid-April with a foot injury. And the Elks have signed American quarterback William McElveen from the University of Central Arkansas. In 32 games over the past 3 seasons with the team, he recorded over 7,000 throwing yards with 58 touchdowns. Basketball has just one game on tap. The Warriors and Rockets tip off with Golden State up 3-2 in the series. That one goes just after 7. In Toronto, Chris Bassett takes them out for the Jays in their opener against the Guardians, with the Jays beating the Red Sox 4-2 yesterday. First pitch is just after 5. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Visit findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717 to talk some Jets Blues action. Jamie Thomas joins us after the break. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at gcldiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
Downsizing, upsizing, or staging your home to sell? Sentinel Storage is Edmonton's team for affordable storage solutions. Try 4 weeks free. Details at sentinelstorage.ca.
Sentinel Storage, proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
In this afternoon, we are having a great day. Ron Lowe was just with us here. We're at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar. Hockey helps the homeless. Just wrapping up. So many former Oilers and former NHLers taking part. Two of our EST colleagues, Joaquin Gage and Matt Cassian.
Cass is right
just
there.
Absolutely dumb. Where is he?
Right there. Playing.
Oh, he's playing.
Right
he
there.
is a giant.
He's massive.
He is a giant of a human being. Yeah. I said, do guys try to fight you? He's like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, playfully? He's like, yeah, playfully.
Right. Yeah, he's a big boy.
You can always text us on the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999, presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. The first round of the playoffs is often a buffet of hockey, but now we're later into the first round. There is just one game tonight, and Ron Lowe expects it to be a beauty. It's Jets at Blues. Jets trying to advance. For more on that, and who knows what else, it's our good buddy Jamie Thomas, who is at the helm of the Ground Control podcast, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. Jamie, thanks for coming on again. How are you doing?
Who was walking in the back shot there? That's not safe for you guys. Do you not have security around you?
Who was back there?
I look like somebody stole something off the table. I don't want to wrat them out.
Could have happened, yeah. Well, Jason Strudwick's around, so stuff will probably go missing.
For sure, Strudwick. That guy's as cheap as it gets.
I gotta ask you something else, or just get maybe your general thoughts on this, because you've worked in a few different Canadian cities, and you've been fortunate enough to work in Edmonton, and now you're in Winnipeg. And let's face it, Jamie, for whatever reason, those two cities get crapped on a lot by the rest of the country.
Right.
You know, and we still well, I'll tell you who it was. Jay Onright. During Game 4, he's texting me. All these young Toronto kids in the newsroom are like, oh yeah, McDavid wants out. He's going to get out of there as soon as they lose this series. And it's like, my God. But yeah, you watch on TV, Edmonton looks great. The outdoor gatherings. Winnipeg has that great outdoor gathering. And you've been in all these different places. It's like, when is the rest of the country going to move on from dumping on Edmonton and Winnipeg?
Well, Onright should know better, man. He's from here, from Alberta. He's not.
He gets frustrated by what other people say. Yeah.
Oh, good. And I was just going to say that didn't make sense because usually he's first to stand up for it. But yeah, I worked in Highlight Road, or the guys at Highlight Road Sportsnet. I've told this story a million times with Ken Reid. Did I tell this on your show?
Tell it.
I can't remember.
Remember when Toronto was up on Boston in Game 7? There was 3-1 in some of the third period. And the text messages start going around, the emails that the Hockey Central panel's going to New York for the Leafs and the Rangers, because that was the next series, and everything's all excited. And next thing, it's 3-2, or I think it's 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. Ken Reid and I are just looking at each other because we're at the post-game show out of that game. And then they lose in overtime. And the guys in Highlight Road were crying. There was tears, there was moping everywhere. So I get it. It's they don't understand what's going on outside of their beloved province, outside their beloved city. But man, I would take these hockey markets anytime. And I'm talking about all 4 Western Canadian cities. They're way better hockey markets than Toronto. So it's just, it's just where I've lived, what I've seen. Living in Toronto made me hate the Leafs more, if that makes any sense. It's just and the company I worked for was a part owner. So, and it's not listen, before I say this, guys on Highlight Road are the best. Those are the guys they do anything. They work hard as anybody. They don't get paid well enough. and then they're the best people. But to see them so upset about that after that one is just, it just goes to show you. But these are great hockey markets, and that's all that matters, right? That's the whole thing. It's as great as the city and the weather is in Toronto, and I will never knock it because I love the weather in Toronto. These are way better hockey markets, and a city this as small as Winnipeg can get people inside a building and get as loud as it does, and have the whiteout, celebrating out front. It just says everything you need to know about how much this team means here. And same thing with Edmonton. Having done radio and talked about, I tried talking about the Eskimos in July one time on the old TSN radio station, and people were texting in, wanting me to talk about the fourth line. So on the Oilers, so that was like August. So it just people go nuts. These are true hockey cities, and I'm talking about Edmonton and Winnipeg in that aspect, and of course Calgary as well. So it's just, whatever. Screw Toronto. They don't know what they're talking about.
But before we talk about tonight's game, I know you're keenly watching the Oilers-Kings series. We've given a lot of thoughts on it. Ron Lowe was just on talking about it.
Did Ron Lowe lose it, have a heart attack? How about all those odd man rushes Edmonton was giving up yesterday? And it's the goaltender's fault. It is the goaltender's fault. It was all Stuart Skinner. My Lord. Anyways, they win. There was no question. I knew the Oilers were going to win that series. But just like that, I can't believe what I was watching. And obviously, you guys, we know that can't happen against Vegas because there's a little bit of more grit on the other side of the ice with the Vegas Golden Knights.
So, but is that what turned it for you? That last night's, and we were talking about that, last night's game was a lot looser performance, probably by both teams. Some other things we've seen. But is that what turned it for you, that the Oilers got a little bit more serious in their own end, coinciding with Pickard coming in? Because we've also talked a lot about depth, some of the decisions Miller made. What really turned it in your mind?
Well, obviously, why are you calling goaltender interference on that play when? So here's the thing. You better make sure you're right, because if you're throwing out that power play where you've just given up the game tying goal, that's on you. That's as soon as that happens, the Oilers were not going to lose that hockey game. So that turned the series. I hope he doesn't lose his job over it, because it's just like it's a moment decision. And if you lose your job over something like that, that's pretty ridiculous. There are other games after that they lost. And you lose on home ice, and then you just, I don't know, you lose a free for all last night against in Edmonton, but. That turned the series in my mind. And yes, they became a little more serious in their own end. I still have concerns, and anybody should be, because it's clearly without Matthias Ekholm, this is not the same blue line that you saw last year. So some adjustments will have to be made. Chris Knobloch's not an idiot. He knows what has to happen, and I believe those adjustments will be made, and they will not be as free-flowing against Vegas as they were against the Los Angeles Kings.
Jamie Thomas joining us here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Jamie, the host of the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets, Ground Control. Big game tonight, Jamie. Big game. I'm just wondering, in Winnipeg, who is public enemy number one? Jim Montgomery or Braden Shen?
That's a little bit of A, a little bit of B. I give Jim Montgomery credit. He's trying to take the attention off Braden Shen before they discovered there's going to be any supplemental discipline. I think we all know where whatever the injury is or whatever Mark Scheifele is dealing with right now came off that leaving your feet, vulnerable position. I go down the list of reasons why that was not a clean hit. And yes, there was a penalty, and I give the Jets full credit. They could have lost their marbles on that one. They could have been going after Braden Shen, but they took care of business. They stuck to what was important. They could not afford to be shorthanded in a game of that magnitude, because they couldn't get in today down 3-2 in the series, considering what has happened. And for them to win that hockey game without Mark Scheifele just says a lot. There's the depth I'm talking about. Can you do it for a long stretch of time? That remains to be seen. But they've, at this point, and it was a game time decision, as you guys know, adding Nikolai Ehlers in the absence of Mark Scheifele helps mitigate things a little bit. But it's tough losing your number one center, period. But the Jets have the depth to do it for a couple of games, but I don't know if you can go through a whole playoff without Mark Scheifele.
All right, Jamie, we love having you. We may just start bugging you every Friday. I don't know.
Yeah, and I apologize for being late, but Ron Lowe was better guest anyways.
Ron, well, you're an awesome guest, but Ron
say
Lowe
that,
is.
Jamie.
I don't have any cool charities like Ron Lowe. All I have is a charity of the 3 kids I give to every day. That's about it.
All right. Enjoy the game tonight. That's been an incredible series. Thanks for your perspective. Thanks for the story from your days on Sportsnet as well. That was pretty funny.
I got a lot of those. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll tell. We want more of those when you come on.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sure.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
That is Jamie Thomas checking in from the Ground Control podcast, the official podcast of the Winnipeg Jets. So we will do your play of the day after 5.
Yeah,
we can get to that in the next segment or before we. Because is it Jets Blues related? Can you tell me?
It is. Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. Portions of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, and lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download Play Alberta now and start playing today. So the Oilers off today. They will practice tomorrow. I remember yesterday we were talking about getting a break. So now they may fly on Sunday. I wonder if the series starts Tuesday, if they would fly on Sunday. That's possible as well. We don't know yet.
Why would they?
Just to get there a day early, maybe. I don't know. Maybe you don't skate on the day you fly. Like maybe if it starts Tuesday, they don't skate Sunday, just fly. Or maybe even they practice. Maybe even if it starts Monday, they practice tomorrow, just fly on Sunday, and then have a morning skate on Monday.
Yeah. When do you think that's going to be announced? It's hard to say.
Yeah, TBD, bro.
TBD, bro.
Well, I guess they're going to wait and see what happens tonight. Because if the Jets win tonight, but the Jets playing shouldn't really affect the start of Oilers in Vegas. Just the NHL tends to not want to drip feed the schedule. I know they did a little bit when they announced those opening games and then put out the rest of the first round in round 1. But I think they'd probably like to announce the whole series, all 4 series all at once.
I mean, the last day that it would be over, even if St. Louis wins tonight, would be Sunday.
Yes.
Right?
Right. So Avs Stars is ending
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow. Jets Blues is either ending tonight or Sunday. But yeah, there's some NBA considerations, right? I think with the Nuggets in that
Tommy
building.
was saying that there's for the Oilers Vegas series, there's a boxing event.
But I think it's
Sunday night.
Right, so that's why we've been saying Monday or Tuesday for the Oilers series.
Yeah,
starting.
I don't know why they would go to Tuesday.
I didn't even look at the Rogers Place schedule.
I could see that being the start of the second round on the other side with Winnipeg or St. Louis and whoever comes out of Colorado, Dallas.
Well, and all the Eastern teams are set, right?
Yes.
So I assume that at least one of the Eastern series will start on Monday.
You know what they say, Reid? TBD, bro.
So Stars on Ice is in Rogers Place on Sunday, May 11th.
What time? That's usually an afternoon thing.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have an event in the afternoon and then a playoff game at night. I don't think. It's at 4 p.m. So you can't really have a matinee or an evening game.
So let's say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. So then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday,
Monday. Yeah, or they could just go.
Or they could say who
Monday,
cares
Wednesday,
about Stars
Saturday,
on Ice?
Monday. Well, I don't think they'd move Stars on Ice.
You don't think they would?
No. I think that brings people in. I don't think they would move that. So maybe the Oilers' home games are going to be,
or they just
Saturday,
have a 3-game
next
break.
Saturday, Monday. Well, yeah, they could go either Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Monday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Monday for the first 4 games. Now, here's the other thing. The Jets could still be eliminated. So then do they want Toronto and Edmonton on opposite nights in Canada, right? So there's always a Canadian team playing. That could be another consideration as well.
They're saying that Play Alberta has on the odds listed as the start on Sunday.
I think that's just a placeholder date.
Yeah, I don't know how they even could. Sunday at 5 p.m. I mean, that's.
Yeah, I like the.
That's not gonna
I
happen
get the emails
right
from
there.
the NHL with the schedule, so I don't think anything is decided there yet. Did we read Bronco Nick's limerick?
No, we didn't.
Bronco Nick, the Kings have been defeated. To their castles they have retreated. Bring on the Knights. Oil will win, damn rights. Hopefully the series is heated. I think it might be. I think it might be. Got a couple other limericks we'll get to before the end of the show. We're going into the final hour. We'll have Jay's play of the day. We'll have our word of the day. Hopefully words of the day. We got to get some rally on the clicks, okay? We need about 30 more clicks on the thumbs up button to get the double word of the day. So don't delay. Send the link to other people to get them involved in the show and tell them to click that thumbs up. Back in a few minutes.
The EST Hangout.
Actually, Pickard's been great. He's got the net as long as it can go.
Don't tell that to Tommy.
No, I know. I forgot Tommy was going to be at the rink today, but I was going to mention that and see what his thoughts were.
It's his net. He's the starter.
You have to go with the hot hand.
And he's played well.
Yeah, even if he loses a game, he deserves a chance to rebound.
Yeah, he does.
Absolutely.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Spin to win Fridays at the Banquet. Every Friday, spin the wheel for a chance to win big and save on your bill. It's that easy. Spin, win, and save. Don't miss out. Details at thebanquetbar.com. The Banquet. Get real. Play hard.
Timeout, Edmonton. The new Play Alberta app has arrived, and it's here to make your gambling experiences more fun, exciting, and secure. Enjoy the convenience of hundreds of casino games, betting live on your favorite sports teams, and access to lotteries all in one place, anywhere in Alberta. Enter code YEG50 to receive a $50 free bet when you make a $5 minimum deposit. That's a $50 free bet for new and existing users using code YEG50. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
.24-year-old right-handed defenseman Alec Regula has signed a 2-year, two-way extension with the Edmonton Oilers worth $775,000. The Oilers claimed Regula off waivers from Boston in December. He's been held out of action since due to injury. Meanwhile, St. Louis has its back up against the wall as they face the Jets in Game 6. Winnipeg's Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision with a foot injury he suffered in early April when he ran into an official. In the CFL, the Elks have signed American quarterback William McElveen after he spent the last 3 seasons at the University of Central Arkansas. He threw for over 7,000 yards during that time. And basketball has just one game on tap. The Warriors and Rockets tip off while Golden State up 3-2 in the series. And from Toronto, Chris Bassett takes the mound for the Jays in their opener against the Guardians momentarily. And right now, in the bottom of the first, the D-backs and Phillies are runless. I'm Zachary Kubusch. That was your sports update. The third and final hour of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. 5:05 on a Friday afternoon. Fred Flintstone would be in heaven right now. Yabba-dabba-doo!
Be sliding down that Brontosaurus's back, right into his car.
So in the Flintstones world,
Oh boy, here we go.
When you got
Here we
your
go.
car starter repaired, was that a pedicure?
Oh, that's a great joke. Did you?
I
just
just thought of that.
Really, that's a Reid Wilkins original.
Well, I'm sure somebody else in the world has said that at some point.
Sure. Do not be so sure.
Oh, there's.
We got a limerick that came in from.
Do it
from one VR Montenegro, who today is going by Valuable Robber Montenegro. Oilers won the series at every angle. Are the Knights up for a second round tangle? I'll tell you what. I've got this nut. You want to see how well it can dangle?
Oh my goodness, that has become one of the themes of the show. How old was Jet that we had on? Is Jet 10?
Jet's got no, he can't be 10, can he?
I can't tell what ages kids are. He's a very young gentleman, so I guess I got to repeat it at this point. So Jet was coaching one of the teams in Hockey Helps the Homeless as a young man, getting involved. You know, his dad's involved in the tournament as well. So we asked him, do you ever chirp the other team? He said, yes, I do. And Jay Milne says, what's your best chirp? And the young man replies, my left nut dangles better than you. That's what it's come to, everybody.
Yeah. What's that? What's it saying? Kids say the darndest things? Or
that actually would fit in that category.
Yeah.
Kids say the darndest thing. Our off-topic topic for William Huff, your rec center guilty pleasure. We had a lot of food suggestions, kind of like getting fries
and gravy,
getting a slush. Do they still make slush puppies? Is that is a slush puppy a brand of a slush?
Yes.
Like for 7-Eleven? Because Max has what, Frosters? And 7-Eleven had slush puppy, or
7-Eleven has Slurpees.
7-Eleven has Slurp. So who had the slush puppy? Did we still?
Like the Laughing Llama, like Independence. You know what I mean? Like like Country Boys gas station out in the like
okay,
not that's
not
a
chain, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway,
but they're all basically a form of a frosted ice.
Yeah, I found the slush puppy to be
ice.
The slush puppy stunk. I've never ever liked a slush puppy. I think they're a waste. They're the opposite of a snow cone, and I hate snow cones too. Like a Slurpee's perfect. A Slurpee's what you want. A slush puppy's too viscous. It's too much liquid. Whereas a snow cone, it's just flavored ice. You know, like I know that's what a Slurpee is. Please don't jam it down my throat.
Right.
But I mean, it's just nothing to it. You put some flavor in some snow. That's what a snow cone is.
Right.
I guess. Hey, funny enough, they call it a snow cone.
Yeah, I don't drink those types of beverages anymore. It's just too much sugar.
Oh, I don't.
I'm all goofy for the rest of the day.
Gager says he will get like a. He said there's a certain kind that comes out in the summer months. It's like a lemon Sprite or something like that. Slurpee.
Oh, really?
And he'll put a little of his favorite tequila in it.
Gager is. If you want advice about food or drink, like Gager's the guy to go. He's such a man of the world. Well, I guess literally because he's.
Well, it's like a margarita. It's like a poor man's margarita.
But he knows, like, oh, you add this, or like, oh, I cook this way, and you're like, oh, wow, Gager, you know a lot of stuff.
Vides.
Yeah, like he just knows stuff.
He's a master of the sous vide.
Yeah,
he loves his mezcal, which I guess is like the it thing for tequila right now. It's
right,
like a smokiness to a tequila. Yeah, he's the international man, and he's not of mystery. He's just the international man.
Reid's detached retina in the nasty chat says, "I can show you something that dangles too." I think that's the same person that is Matthew Tkachuk and Drew Doughty and Brad Marchand.
I don't.
Do you know who it is?
No, I don't know who it is, but I think that there's several people that are taking on, different personas.
So I thought it was one person that always changes his or her handle to whatever is required. I'm surprised Drew Doughty has not been in the nasty chat today.
Oh, he's in rough shape right now, I think.
Who else is? Well, Brad Marchand. Brad Marchand is through to the next round, right?
He is. Yes, he is.
So we haven't heard from him. That's interesting.
From him. I don't know if we will until
they get playing again.
Till the end.
Do you want to do your play of the day?
Let's do the
Jay's Play of the Day presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues, NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit today with promo code YEG50 and get an EST exclusive $50 free bet to get you started. Great stuff. So this is a new, well, what happened?
Nothing.
This is a new feature on the show. Started yesterday.
Yeah.
Jay's
just missed
play
out on it
of the day.
Okay, so if you go over to playalberta.ca or download the app, you will find that there are quick links, and one of the quick links is to the EST specials, and you'll say that today's Jay's Play of the Day, I'm going overs, Reid. I'm going overs. So I found a couple totals that I thought were a little light. So I made a little parlay. So for those that don't know what a parlay is, here it is. It's when you take single odds. Let's say you wanted to bet on the Oilers winning last night.
Okay.
That's one game. That's one bet. But if you combine the Oilers win last night with, say, a Jets win tonight, you can combine them, and it gives you better odds.
Right.
Because you're taking more risk. So a parlay, and in particular, this is called a 2-leg parlay. You could do a 7-leg parlay. You could do a 10-leg parlay. It's just how many different events you add that makes up for it. So mine's a 2-leg parlay. Blues and Jets over 5.5 goals. And then we're going to go over to the NBA, Association City. We got the Warriors Rockets over 207.5. Both these totals that were put up are lower than the series average.
Okay.
So I'm playing the law of averages here. Now look at this. This is plus 325. So you put $10 into this, or you're getting back $32.50. That is excellent return. So here's hoping. I really like this. This is really made me a happy man, except last night. So I gotta,
Bit of technical errors here, everybody. It seems as though the board died over there at the Booster Juice Recreational Center. For those watching on YouTube, there's a QR code on the screen. It's a link to Hockey Helps the Homeless. Of course, we've been on location there all day since 6 o'clock here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Just like to remind you guys that you can also follow us on every social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We're very active on Twitter, trying to get into TikTok and stuff like that as well. You can listen live on Edmonton Sports Talk, iHeart Radio, the TuneIn Radio apps, as well as YouTube for those viewing here. Find our podcast on Apple or any other platform that you listen on. You can get it on Google Podcasts, everywhere in between to Amazon Podcasts as well. We're really everywhere. We're trying to grow it. Word of mouth is always good. So if you know somebody that's into sports and likes the Oilers, likes the Elks, we're the place to be. We're your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We've had some great guests on today throughout EST Afternoons, which I've been producing. We had Kelly Buchberger on first hour of the show here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Ales Hemsky also slid by. He was drafted first overall at Hockey Helps the Homeless for this year. If you did not listen to that hour or catch it here live, you can go back and listen to that as well. But we will head to break. We'll be back here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports after this sports update. 24-year-old right-handed defenseman Alec Regula has signed a 2-year, two-way extension with the Oilers worth $775,000. The Oilers claimed Regula off of waivers from Boston in December, and he's been held out since due to injury. Meanwhile, St. Louis has its back up against the wall as they face the Jets in Game 6. Winnipeg's Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision with a foot injury he suffered in early April when he ran into an official. In the CFL, the Elks have signed American quarterback William McElveen after he spent the last 3 years at the University of Central Arkansas. He threw for over 7,000 yards over that span. Basketball has just one game. The Warriors and Rockets tip off with Golden State up 3-2 in the series. And from Toronto, it's Chris Bassett taking the mound for the Jays. That one's just getting underway. There's 6 other games live in baseball right now. D-backs and Phillies are in the middle of the second inning. Phillies up 1-0. And in the top of the first, it's runless between the Guardians and the Jays. This sports update is brought to you by Clover Bar Feeds. Clover Bar Feeds has all the animal feed you'll need. Get top-notch service and selection from their family-owned business. Visit Clover Bar Feeds at 200 Portage Close in Sherwood Park, or call them at 780-467-5014. Live from the Booster Juice Recreation Center, Reid and Jay continue the show after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Luke Gazdick with us on the show this morning.
Matthias Janmark is an absolute playoff bull. What a bull. I always laugh like during the regular season when, fans get on him because he has bad stretches of games, right? And he's not the greatest skater, doesn't look pretty playing the game. And you're like, man, what is this guy doing here? And then the playoffs show up every year and he's an absolute lunatic out there.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric, presented by South Fort Chevrolet. Weekday mornings 6 to 9, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Strike up some fun at the Banquet Bar. Bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends where the good times roll. Whether you're here to bowl or just hang out, the Banquet Bar is your go-to spot. Get real, play hard at the Banquet.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
My mother used to let us not lock the doors. She's like, if you're locking the doors inside of the house, it means you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. Yeah, that's why we lock the doors.
Host of the Bad Friends and Whiskey Ginger podcast, don't miss Andrew Santino, Freeze Peach, live at the River Cree May 22nd.
Michael, what are you doing? We have locks on the outside of the house to keep criminals from coming inside. There's no criminals inside of this house. Yes, there are, Karen.
Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. Excitement, bet on it.
And there they go to Sentinel Storage. The snowblower and winter gear goes in. They shoot, we store.
Need extra space? Store your winter gear with Sentinel Storage and win extra space at home. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Proud partner of the Edmonton Oilers.
Hey, boys, I got nothing from your side of things over there. I'll get you guys to reload into the system, if you don't mind. Well, Reid and Jay are on location at the Boston Pizza Booster Juice Recreation Center in Terwillegar near Gager's stomping grounds right now. I'm just getting them to reload really quickly, but I just want to say that we greatly appreciate you tuning in here today. It's a big event for Hockey Helps the Homeless down at the Terwillegar Recreation Center. 4 sheets of ice, and the boys are back, so they will carry on with the show.
Okay, we're here. Hey, everybody.
Sorry, Koob.
Sorry, technical issues. Koob,
hey, round of clicks for Koob.
Yeah, Koob, incredible stuff.
Awesome
by Koob.
job, brother.
Jumping. Hey, on location, it happens sometimes. Our audio board just went out. One of us probably kicked the power cable, or there's a small squirrel chewing away at something.
Yes, I like the small squirrel.
And that's what happened. So we're back. So Jay's play of the day on playalberta.ca.
Yeah.
Just quickly recap that.
So we're going to Blues Jets over 5.5 goals, and Golden State Warriors taking on the Houston Rockets. Both games are tonight. Over 207.5 points. So that has been boosted, Reid. That has been boosted by the good people over at Play Alberta. That is plus 325. So that means if you put $10 on this play and it wins, you will return $32.50 profit.
Oh, nice. That's a good one.
This is a good one. I like these ones where you use the parlay to boost your odds. And that was boosted over at Coolbet as well, or at Play Alberta. So excellent job. I'm excited for this. We were close last night.
Jay's play of the day.
And actually, Dusty hit a nice one on a Hyman goal. That was beautiful. I used one of my free bets on that.
Okay, I still have not used my free bets.
Well,
I'm biding my time. I may have played a little bit of roulette with that part of the free bet. Hey. I've yet to make a free bet using my sports bet. I will get to that.
Beautiful.
Yes. I'm a selective bettor. All right. If you're taking us in on YouTube, keep clicking away at that thumbs up button. Give the Koob a thumbs up for jumping in and filling in for us when we did briefly our audio got knocked out for whatever reason. Just an incredible day. Hockey helps the homeless here at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar. The transitioning now out of that into, I guess, the normal Friday night activities. So are there 4 rinks here?
There are. And
4
they're
rinks,
beautiful.
at least a couple gymnasiums, an aquatic center, the workout area, with all the ellipticals and weights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's over
there.
there.
This is a massive facility.
Massive. You want to go get some French fries after or something?
We might have to.
Yeah, I think maybe in a little extra gravy.
Yeah. This is a great. This is not a part of the town. I come to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But
we have friends that live just over here, so I am in this part of town a bit. And actually, all of our basketball for my daughters happens on the south side.
Oh, okay.
So the only reason I ever go to the other end of town is for work. That's
to the west end.
Everything else is south of the river.
Yeah, I mean, I guess where do you go? You go to the neighborhood you live in and the neighborhood you work in.
That's right.
I mean, Ched was Roper Road. So now I never go there.
Right.
So now it's Mayfield and Oliver for me, pretty much. I got to thank publicly Hernan Salas for giving me a ride to work today.
Yes.
What happened with my eye? I've been told I can't drive for a month.
Now, have you been told
stinks.
that? What if you did it?
I wouldn't want to do it.
I know,
the way
not
my
right
vision
now.
is right now.
But let's say 20 days in.
Yeah, if I felt like I could drive, I probably would.
So it's not like it's legally binding or something. You haven't had your license taken away.
No, I've not had my license taken away.
But
the way
30 days.
And today I know some people commented earlier, like on so Tuesday I had the surgery, Wednesday I had a Pirates patch on, and yesterday I just had one of those white sort of medical patches on because it was easier for my glasses to fit over top of that. Now it's still distracting today. And I don't even know if people can tell, like, how swollen is my eye today? Not very much.
No.
I mean, if you look, you can tell a little bit.
No,
maybe.
you really wouldn't know unless you know.
But so, and I described should I tell people what the surgery is called? I better not. Because I don't want people looking it up.
Go ahead. Why not?
This comes with a warning. At some point over the weekend, you're a little bit bored, you're looking for something to watch on YouTube, put in the YouTube search band scleral buckle, SCLERAL. Now, then you'll see just the thumbnail images come up. That will help you decide whether or not you want to watch the video. It's not the video of my eye, obviously, but that's the procedure that I had. It's tough to watch. I couldn't watch the whole video.
Well, my wife was here earlier as they were here visiting with me and keeping me company before the show. And she heard about this, and she's all in.
She's excited to watch. She likes watching that type of stuff.
But she likes that kind of stuff. She's not afraid of that.
So, but part of the reason I was putting a patch over my eye, it really had nothing to do so much with protecting the eye, but it was to block out that eye because it's so blurry from having been operated on that it was distracting for me to try to read something with my right eye operating fully and my left eye operating at a very low level.
Well, that's fair.
Right. So, but today it's a little more even out. Now, but what I did earlier today, and I hadn't done this for the last couple of days, I covered up my right eye. And yes, Matt Hyman in the Nasty Chat, I can still see the gas bubble. So they, as on top of getting this buckle in my eye, they drain out all the fluid that's in your eye and put in a gas bubble that expands and I guess kind of shoves your retina back into place. And then I think they freeze it back into place. But I can still see the gas bubble. So the lower third of my vision in my left eye is sort of this purpley bubble. So that's a little distracting. Like it's see-through, but it has color to it. And then also when I covered my right eye, the vision in my left eye is green because I think there's the gas is actually green. So my vision's far from normal. So that's why I wouldn't drive, though, at the moment, because it would just be too distracting or something over my left shoulder. Like, I'd be like, is it actually there or not? Like, what's going on? So that's sort of what I'm experiencing now. But I was, as you know, I was a bit of a baby yesterday.
No, you weren't.
I was pretty down in the morning, especially.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
I was feeling pretty down about everything.
Well, if you did, you know what, Reid? It was fine.
Well, I fell asleep at work. That was a little embarrassing.
You're tired.
I was tired.
I comforted you. I gave you a scalp massage while you were napping.
Oh, did you? I didn't know that.
No. Robbie, I think my bandmate. I think that's Robbie, my former North Shore bandmate.
Scleral Buckle. That'd be a great name. That'd be a great name for a metal
band. Scleral
Buckle.
I like that. Well done.
That's pretty good. So anyway, that's the quick eyeball update.
Do we have to do a quick or did Koob do the update already?
Koob did the update while you and I were trying to get the audio working again. We actually don't know how we got it working again.
Yeah,
which
by
is
the
a
grace
little
of
alarming.
God, Reid, I don't know. I just pressed and held down a button. I called the Koo. Matty Iwanek, and he said, look, something must happen. The cord sometimes can be a little dislodged. Have a great day. And just make sure everything's attached. Hold down the power button. And lo and behold, Reid, we're back.
We are working again.
Look at this guy. He looks sore.
Oh, yeah. We got some.
No.
Well,
it's
I think people have been there. There are probably quite a few people who skated more in the last day than they have in the previous year combined. And their many body parts are going to be feeling that in the days to come. So the Oilers have advanced to play the Vegas Golden Knights. We are fired up for round 2 for Gemco Fireplaces. Proudly serving Edmonton area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces, whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. The Vegas Golden Knights have been an outstanding franchise since they entered the National Hockey League. They've only missed the playoffs once. They still had a pretty good record that year. They've been to the Stanley Cup final. They have won the Stanley Cup. They obviously defeated the Edmonton Oilers in a second-round series a couple of years ago. They are, and you and I have talked a lot over the course of the 8-month tenure of this show about identity.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the Vegas Golden Knights have an identity. They will play hard. They will play thorough. They will not easily cede any inch of the ice. They will have depth. I mean, clearly they have some players who score more, like the Eichels and Hurdles of the world, or whoever you want to say is their top offensive guys. But they've always had third or fourth liners who are very good and can play a rugged game as well. And I think their skill players also can play a rugged game. I'm going to say, and I said this to Tom last night, and I'm going to say it to you, I think Aiden Hill is a better goaltender than Darcy Kemper. Do you remember when they were picking Team Canada for that little Four Nations face-off tournament?
Oh, that little thing.
Darcy Kemper didn't get picked. Jordan Binnington got picked, even though his stats weren't as good as some other goalies. And this makes me say, hey, you know what? A lot of us are armchair GMs, armchair scouts. Will say, well, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. They certainly made the right pick picking Binnington, even though his stats weren't that good. They trusted him to perform in a high-pressure situation. And I said about Kemper going into the series that I thought his stats, not that he's not good, and he played really well, obviously, in Game 5, but I thought mostly his stats were a product of how the Kings defended, that playing the Oilers night after night might be a different story. So I think that the Oilers are obviously they're going to be very tested in this series. I think there's going to be a level of compete, if you want to call it that, that's going to be probably higher from Vegas than Los Angeles. I do think Adin Hill is going to be a tougher goalie to beat than Darcy Kemper.
Yeah, I don't know. Just experience, playoff experience. What?
Well, I think he's just a better goalie. I think he's just a better technical goaltender.
Because you said with Kemper that he was a system goalie.
Yes,
that had a team in front of him designed to make life easier on him.
Yes.
So you're saying as pure goaltender,
I think Adin Hill's now better.
Hill's better. So in this, these playoffs, Calvin Pickard has a much higher save percentage than Adin Hill. Adin Hill's coming into this series at 880. Calvin Pickard was above 900 until last night's game.
Last night, right.
And he's coming in at 893. So is Calvin Pickard a better goalie than Adin Hill?
No, I don't think so. He could be over the course of a series.
Okay.
And again, goaltending is very important, but Jamie Thomas talked about it. Stuart Skinner needed to make more saves. It's also true that the Oilers defended better in front of Pickard as the series went on.
Yes.
Than they did in front of Skinner.
Yeah.
Like in Game 5 especially, Pickard made the saves he needed to make. Thankfully, there weren't many of them. Now, yesterday, though, I thought Pickard made some very crucial saves. When it's 3-2, Fogle has a breakaway. They actually had a 2-on-0, and he stopped that one. And then Deneau had a shot on a 2-on-1 about 6 minutes later. And then that pad save on Brandt Clark in the third period. But that's what I liked was how the Oilers reacted to that. The guy,
see you later.
Clark got the scoring chance, and then the Oilers just piled into the crease. Let's make a wall of it's not always pretty in the playoffs.
Did you see Pickard having a conversation with Brandt Clark? You may have not seen that.
I didn't notice that, no.
Okay, on the broadcast, they showed it, and Brandt Clark, that's in. And Calvin Pickard's just the calmest demeanor, saying, no, it's not in. You could see his lips. It's not in.
Not in, baby.
Like they were having a talk on their backsides in the crease. I thought that was really interesting. But yeah, he's done what he has to do. And look, Reid, you've said it. What do you say is the number one stat for goalies?
Wins.
Calvin Pickard has 4.
Yes.
In a row. Right? That, at the end of the day, I think this is going to be an excellent matchup. The goaltending. But here's the thing. You say Adin Hill's an excellent goaltender. Do you think this team can get to him?
Yes.
How? If they have to play that playoff hockey. That sounds so simple.
Well, you have 4 lines. Everybody crashing the net.
Yeah.
Power play. The Oilers' power play is at 38.5%. LA's at 40%. LA's out. So the Oilers have the best power play of any team still in the playoffs. But I think they need that 4-line game. They need to be willing to be mucky. They need to get the puck to the net and simplify the attack, especially lines 2 through 4. I do accept Connor and Leon are going to throw it around a little bit more.
Do you see Vegas's penalty kill?
76%.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few penalty kills that are not great, including Edmonton's. But,
true enough.
But yeah, I think this is going to be.
You go ahead, Reid.
Okay, sorry. I just think this is going to be a great series. I think the Oilers are in a different spot than they were a couple of years ago when they played Vegas. We do got a guest coming in. Okay, perfect. That's all right.
How you feeling?
How's it going?
Sore.
Okay, this is Darcy Parisuk.
Hello.
Darcy is the you can hear yourself. You're good.
I think I'm good. Yeah.
Now, are you the co-chair of this event?
Co-chair, yeah. Me and my wife Rose.
Okay.
With Ron and Linda Lowe, we've been involved for 12 years.
Right on.
And it's exciting to see it grow where it's come to, and hopefully we can keep going for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been exciting. It's fun event, but it's much needed support in the community that we couldn't do it without all the people involved, the committee members and all that. So got a big shout out to them.
Well, kudos to you guys, because this place was like a beehive.
Yeah.
Where everybody was doing very well organized, very streamlined, and everybody was doing their task, and it just, moving at the same speed at all times. So very well run event. Congratulations. Ron Lowe was telling us that you guys exceeded your fundraising, or were close to, or hoping to exceed.
Hoping to. Last year, we set a goal last year at 360, and we got it. And then this year, our goal was to try to net 400, and I'm hoping that we get there.
Okay.
The behind the scenes stuff is amazing. My wife's one of them, Rose, and then the community members that you don't see they don't get to go out in the ice and play and have fun like we do, but they do all the hard stuff. And what you see is the organization and everything running really smoothly. That's because of them. So
now Darcy and I have a connection, Reid. What do you think it is?
Well, you told me earlier.
Did I tell you?
Golden Bears football. What position were you?
Oh, geez. Wow. So long ago. Can you remember?
Oh, come on. Yeah,
I played linebacker.
He wrecked plays.
Were you a Canada West All-Star?
I was. Yeah, I think I was. I can't remember.
What years did you play?
I did play from 97 to 2000. I played 4 years there.
So was Wilkinson your coach?
Wilkie was my coach.
Did you have Friesen at all?
No, I didn't actually.
Okay.
He came in the year after.
Okay.
So Wilkie was our head coach. Pete Labrado was defense coordinator, and to this day, I still quote those two guys, the things they taught us. So yeah.
So you laid the groundwork for people like Jason Milne.
Oh, geez, he didn't need it. Yeah, he came in. He was the only Milne brother I didn't play with. I played with his two brothers.
Yeah.
And I hope they're not listening, but he's probably the best one of them.
Oh, wow.
I've heard that.
I hope they are.
I'm just saying.
Touche. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Okay, so what now? This is obviously the big goal, but, Ronnie Lowe was telling us about all the different, places that people can support still if they want. But why does, for you, and you, and I know your family with Rose and that family is part of the Cameron Holmes group, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Why did this particular cause stand out for you guys?
Well, you know what? It was 12 years ago, and I just told the alumni this story. 12 years ago, I was offered a chance to be involved, and we get to hang out with the Oilers and ex-alumni. I'm like, believe me, I didn't know that much about the actual charities involved, so that brought me in. I'm like, well, I'm going to sit beside guys like Hemsky and but then you start learning about the charities and how fortunate we are. Not just my family, but a lot of us that we just take for granted a warm place, especially in the winter times, to go to bed and your loved ones are beside you, where you see people struggling all the time, and it's seemingly becoming a bigger issue with affordability, and it isn't anything that they're doing; it's something that we're not doing. Mm-hmm. So it's our job to help them, because we've all been helped in so many ways. We just don't realize how much, and where we're at now is only because of the people who've helped us along the way, and everyone needs to help out. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, is just remembering that, we're all in it together. If we want our city to be great, we have to have it great for everyone involved. So,
well, credit to yourself, your beautiful wife, Rose, and Darcy and I are both girl dads. Yeah. Darcy has 6 daughters, Reid.
Yeah. Blessed to have 6 girls. Yeah.
He's got
6 girls and
so including you got enough for the D line and 3 linebackers. You can play a 4-3 or a 3-4.
Yeah. Well, I'm more like I'm the dance dad now, and then I'm a better chance of be involved in one of their dance recitals than them playing football. Well, but, maybe the grandsons. I got 2 grandsons now, and maybe they'll be the ones who carry on the football legacy.
Torch. Speaking of football, I know you are a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I am, yeah. Still am.
A, were you pissed off they didn't take Shedeur Sanders? And B, who's going to play quarterback for you?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you. The quarterback position's been a little bit of a whirlwind the last little while. But I'll tell you,
we've got Jaden Daniels, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
Right?
But you know what? I think that without a doubt, Pittsburgh will always make way, no matter who's playing that quarterback position, and we'll be okay. Every year I go in thinking we're going to win the Super Bowl anyways. But if Tomlin's behind the bench,
that's true.
You know, I have confidence.
Winning records,
and it's funny because like when Tomlin first came in, he was a young coach, and when we hired Mark Killam, it was something that we were hiring different. It wasn't what the Eskimos were hiring for a long time.
Yeah,
right. And it excited me because I'm like, you know what, that's what we need, something different. And when Tomlin got hired as a Pittsburgh head coach, he had no coaching experience as a head coach. He was only defense coordinator. Came in and went to one Super Bowl, went to another Super Bowl. That's what I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the Elks now.
That's a good point.
I really think that it's just a change up that we needed, and it's going to be exciting for this city and to get back behind the Elks. And I really, really have hopes for good things this year.
Yeah. Well, Jay and I have to, one of our themes, and we were talking about earlier on the show today, is franchises that have identities.
Yeah.
Like the Golden Knights have one.
Yeah.
You know, even the Bruins have had one in hockey, even though they were last this year, but generally they've had one. And like this, we talked about that during the football season. The Steelers are never terrible.
No.
Yeah.
Like they might go 8-8 or I guess now 8-9 or whatever, but they're never terrible. And they're always competitive.
Consistently average or better.
Yeah. And they just find a way. And it's just the old school way. They play hard defense, try to run the ball. I mean, and it doesn't matter who comes in. It seems like they make do. Right. Sometimes you'll have a longevity like Bell and Roethlisberger, but then like makeshift quarterbacks come in. And so, I'm going to be cheering for them no matter what. So I'm not sure if Rodgers is even still in the mix or what's happening there.
But geez, would you want that?
5 years ago? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, he brings a lot of, a lot of questions him coming in. So, but we stirred the pot a lot, so we'll see what's going to happen. I'm not sure.
All right. Before we let you go, how are you feeling about round 2 Oilers and Golden Knights?
Oh, excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm diehard Oilers fan ever since I was little.
Yeah.
I was telling Ron Loeb, my first Oiler game, I was watching, it was him and Eddie Meal were the goalies. I was 6 years old, 1980. And Doug Hicks was playing on the team I was playing on today. And I'm like, Doug Hicks scored a goal against Pittsburgh. So and they laughed, but I'm like, I've been like diehard Oilers fan. I think the Oilers, man, some of those injuries that we had might be a blessing in disguise, because I think that allowed them to get a little bit, a little bit more rest. And I see that in McDavid's always quick. But he's flying out there, and Kane came back and like he hasn't missed a step. So I think we have a good chance. And Pickard's been playing well, and I'm confident that our Oilers will be right there.
All right. Well, he's Darcy Parisuk, co-chair of the Hockey Helps the Homeless, group. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for all the hard work and effort you put in. We're very thankful, and so is the city of Edmonton. I mean, this is such a great cause, and we appreciate all your hard work.
You.
So Darcy Parisuk, thank you. And Koob, you take it away. We're going to be right back with did we get to double word of the day?
We need 10 more thumbs.
Okay, 10
and
more.
And we got to read the email we got from across the ocean.
Yes, we do. Okay.
We'll get to all that.
Koob, take it away.
The Oilers have extended right-handed defenseman Alec Regula to a 2-year, two-way deal worth under $1 million. The 24-year-old was claimed by the Oilers off of waivers from Boston in December and has yet to play a game, rehabbing an injury since December. Nikolai Ehlers is a game-time decision, taking warm-up for the Jets in Game 6 against the Blues. As Winnipeg looks to close out their series, he's been out since mid-April after colliding with a referee, which forced him out with a foot injury. And the Elks have signed American quarterback William McElveen from the University of Central Arkansas in 32 games over the past 3 seasons. With the university, he's recorded over 7,000 throwing yards with 58 touchdowns. And basketball has just one game. Houston hits the court in Golden State with the Warriors. up 3-2 in the series. From Toronto, the Jays are down 1-0 to the Guardians in the end of the second inning, with 6 other games live, including the Dodgers and Braves locked at zeros in the second, while the D-backs are down 1-0 to the Phillies in the top of the fourth inning. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can also shop online at paramountflooring.ca. The word of the day and the final segment for the Reid Wilkins Show brings us back after a brief intermission. I'm Zachary Kubusch, and you're up to date.
Get your fix every single game with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas. Whether it's breaking down the starting lineup, predicting key matchups, or diving deep into the game's biggest moments, Tom and Hernan are here to give you the best insight and analysis in the city. After the final horn, get the breakdown of every key moment, performance, and player reactions. It's your one-stop shop for all things game day. Catch the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame and postgame shows with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Wrapped it up last night in the NASCA chat. Nicholson, any word on when we might see game one? No, it'll be Monday or Tuesday, basically. Pretty safe bet. So no schedule announced. Still, well, at least 2 games left in round 1, maybe 3 if the Blues force game 7 tonight. If I knew the NHL schedule, I would tell you, everybody, but I don't. And I'm also not one of those people, I hope I'm not anyway, that pretends I know. Like, I can narrow it down for you, but I'm not going to be like, oh, well, no, it's going to be here. Trust me, I've got someone on the inside. No, if I don't know, I can tell you, I can safely say it's going to be Monday or Tuesday based on logic and a little bit of information, but it's, I can't sit here and say I know when it's going to be. Fair enough? Sorry, everybody. So, I know you want me to tell you, but I don't know.
Listener Grumpy Cat is on an Irish adventure right now. And did you see he's in the nasty chat? And you can tell he's really having and soaking in the Irish lingo, because he said it's half midnight.
Oh, nice.
Which means it's 12:30.
Right.
That's what they say over there. So he decided to send Reid and I an email, right, about the Irish poetry, or as we call it, a limerick.
Yes.
So he decided to send on a few different limericks, which we'll continue to get to through the week, but we're a little pressed for time here.
Yeah, pick one.
Here's what he wrote about me. A man named Jay who may be luxurious, learning with one-eyed Wilkie looking glorious. Having sold furniture, early he earned tenure. From the beginning, Blue Guy is notorious. Very well done.
Do you know what luxurious means?
I don't.
Having or showing an excessive or submissive fondness for one's wife.
No.
You are very fond of your wife.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if you're submissive to her necessarily.
I don't think I would
when
be.
required.
I think I'm a good boy. Yes, I'm a good husband. I love my wife. Of course I would. She's fantastic. She's gorgeous. I mean, what else could one want?
We've been in the banquet studio on location today at Booster Juice Rec Center at Terwillegar. The banquet, strike up some fun at the banquet bar, bowling, drinks, and a great time with friends. Get real, play hard at the banquet. So Grumpy Cat checking in from Ireland.
Thank you for doing that, Grumpy Cat.
That's pretty cool.
If we were in the studio, I would give you a round. There it is.
We'll say somebody. I don't know when he's back, but that's
really
awesome.
good.
And he's in the nasty chat checking in, which is incredible.
He did send a picture in of him. He's in Limerick, Ireland.
That's amazing. We'll have to go do a show there someday. Just fly out there for one show, come back right
let's
after.
put together a
We'll go
huge
kiss
parlay.
the Blarney Stone.
We'll go ahead.
We'll do a parlay on the Blarney. If you've been texting us throughout the afternoon, 780-218-9999, we thank you for using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. All right. Did you want to do... Oh, we got the picture of Grumpy Cat up. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoying a Guinness.
Guinness in Limerick.
In Ireland, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
I've known a couple people over the years who've gone to the Guinness Brewery.
I've been there.
And you went?
Yeah, I've been there.
So you get the tour?
Yeah.
And then you get a pint at the end?
At the start of the tour, they give you a token.
Okay.
And at the top of the tour, you go through this building.
Okay.
And it takes you up floor by floor by floor. At the top of the building is this huge, it's like a 360 view of Dublin.
Right.
And the whole tour, the whole factory is shaped like a Guinness pint glass.
Oh,
and
no way.
The top is like the head. You know what I mean?
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then you give them your token and you get a pint of Guinness. Now, you can enjoy as many pints as you'd like, but the one is free.
The one is part of the tour.
And is
the tour free?
No.
You pay for the tour.
No.
So that's included in the...
But it was cool. We actually, we got the Guinness posters.
Sweet.
The toucan birds that are, it's a lovely day for a Guinness.
Oh, nice. That's sweet.
Yeah.
I'll have to go there someday. All right. Let's get a final rally here with a thumbs up on YouTube. I think we'll do a double word of the day, though.
I don't know.
On location. Well, you don't know. Okay.
I don't know, Reid.
Okay. I don't want to look at your computer. I don't want to look at your computer.
Okay. You'll have to help me here, Koob, but I can't play the word of the day music. We don't need it.
We don't need it. We'll just do it.
Okay. I can sing it a cappella.
Sure.
I can sing it a cappella. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I got the intro here.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
Believe in me.
Okay. The first word of the day, ziggurat. Ziggurat.
Oh, I've seen this word. Oh, I can't remember it though.
Trust yourself.
It can't be that obvious, can it?
There is something that might trip you up.
I think it's Ziggerut.
Say again.
Ziggerut.
Incorrect.
You have the tuba.
Oh, you suck.
Zigerat?
No.
Are there two G's?
There are two G's.
So that was right. So it's Ziggerat.
U.
A-U-T?
Ziggurat.
Oh, the U is there.
Ziggurat.
Okay, I've looked up the meaning of this word when I've read it. Oh, what does this mean? Is it something to do with like a process of doing something?
No.
Can you give me a sentence?
Ancient ziggurats were always built with a core of mud brick and an exterior covered with baked brick. They had no internal chambers and were usually square or rectangular.
Is it like a tomb? No? Okay.
It's ziggurat is an ancient Mesopotamian temple consisting of a pyramid structure built in successive stages with outside staircases and a shrine at the top.
I feel like at some point in my life I might have known that.
Maybe you did.
Probably not.
We're going to do a bonus word, the second word. We're just going to do it. Xanthic. Xanthic.
Xanthic.
Correct.
And I'm going to say this has to do with something that is a sticky gum-like substance.
No. Of or relating to a yellow or yellowish color.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't do very well today. I got xanthic, though. I didn't spell it with a Z. I knew it started with an X.
That was very good of you. 1 out of 4.
1 out of 4.
Not bad.
Not great. But I'd say those words were a little higher on the challenging scale, which is fine. I like being challenged.
Yeah, you should.
I'd like taking a stab at it. So a ziggurat is an ancient Mesopotamian temple?
Yeah.
And a pyramid shaped?
Yeah.
But not Egyptian.
No. It's a weird one.
Oh, that's fine. Oh my God, they're playing us off. We're doing it live.
What are you kicking me out of here?
Thanks to Ron Lowe, Linda Lowe, everybody with Hockey Helps the Homeless, everybody here at the Booster Juice Rec Center in Terwillegar for having Edmonton Sports Talk here all day long. Fundraising for Hockey Helps the Homeless, absolutely incredible. Go to their website to see the organizations that they're helping, and you can help at other times of the year as well. Hello Hockey, 10 a.m. tomorrow with Tom Gazzola and Belzy. Keep an eye out for when Game 1 of the series is going to be. We'll have extended coverage, of course, on all Oilers game days. Thanks to Zachary Kubusch back at the ESP Global HQ. On behalf of the glue guy, Jason Milne, I'm Reid. Have a great weekend.